Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray.
Hello.
Sean Bell.
Hello.
And James Farley says his name is. Hi James, how are you? You good?
I'm pretty good. I love you all.
Nice one. Patreon producers this month, they are the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Grey Dragon Claw, Smooth Monkey, Colin Smith, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Gordon Garrow, Savers Records, Sam Higton, Jonathan Edwards, Fred Fenge, Tom S, Ryan Cobain, Josh Hunt, and Yul McCule. Patreon.com/TCGS if you want to join the Full Nels crew. The ultimate team of superheroes is how I view them. I don't know you guys, but the Avengers can fuck right off, especially
Justice
the new
League,
ones.
Take a hike. It's all about the Full Nels crew.
I don't know who those ones are. I start and stop
It's
at the
Batman
Marvel
and
films
Superman and that.
Oh, they're the bad ones, aren't they? Aren't they the bad ones? I like Batman, or I used to.
Yeah, they're the Justice League. They're the goodies.
Okay. What's the league about and what they competing against each other? Who's top of the Justice League?
I've always thought it's a bit of a rubbish.
Justice League.
It is a rubbish name, isn't it? Justice
It is a bit of
League.
a rubbish name.
Yeah, but then, I mean, so's the Avengers, really, isn't it?
Yeah, because they don't avenge anything. It's not like oh, like this one person died or something, and now we're going to avenge them.
Yes, there was. There was the dude with the card and the blood on the card. Remember that?
Oh, he didn't count.
Okay.
Doesn't he actually not die anyway?
Moved on. Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
You can support the show by going to patreon.com/TCGS. Although after those last 3 minutes, why would you? We have got a bonus show coming up where I will be telling my story about how I met Gaza and how Matt's colleagues hate him. So you got that to look forward to this month, and there will be a video to watch as well. Patreon.com/TCGS. But let's forget all this. Let's get to what really matters. The feedback from our listeners on last week's show, which I can only assume, Matt, they all loved.
They bloody did, actually. Now, I always get Ryan's surname incorrect. What is it, James? Is
Ryan
that
Jal.
So what's that?
Jal.
Jow. Okay, Ryan Jow. Given that we've always...
One syllable, Matt. Come on.
But I just don't want to... Okay, once more.
Ryan Jal.
Jow. Okay.
Although
Ryan
he
Jow.
has changed it 4 times since asking him that. He said 4 different things.
Given we've always called FIFA and not FIFA, shouldn't we call the new version EA Sports Fuck 24?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you're right.
Point.
I mean,
Tempted.
Ryan, if you want to submit that to the gaming gods, then yeah, go for it. You got
He
my
already
vote,
has.
mate.
This is
Oh.
the submission.
Oh, we're the gaming gods, aren't we, Sean?
Yeah.
I could see you on a cloud holding a bolt of lightning. I can actually see, like, I've got that vision
just
now.
threatening people with it.
Yeah, just like, no.
Just
watch
like holding
something
the
less
lightning, being like,
popular.
"Watch it, watch it."
I know you like this, but this thing's a little bit more niche. Try that instead, otherwise I'll lightning bolt you.
Imagine just being able to lightning bolt anyone who doesn't agree with you.
That'd
be great.
You'd be very busy. Very busy.
That sounds a little bit dictatorial, Sean. That's a bit worrying, but fine. Go on then.
Next person is a cow with a bowler hat on. Thank you for messaging us. I'm Team Dave. Podcasts should be audio only and created in a bubble with no external influence on the participants. Constant referrals to things that the chat have said have no place on a podcast. At that point, we're just listening to an audio only Twitch stream replay, and that sucks.
Yeah, I agree,
Right.
Cal.
No,
and the
well,
chat
right,
is saying that you're an
so-
actual knobhead. Is what the chat's. That's what the chat's saying. I'm not that. The chat's saying that. Sorry, Cal. Sorry, Sean. Yeah.
Well, what gets me is, how is this any different to listening to like any radio show with multiple hosts where they're all in the same room
Yeah.
and will refer to things?
Yeah, 'cause we've got a James Farley. That's the difference.
That's true.
James
That being said,
would not be let onto the radio.
I mean, the
ever.
visual element. You know, it's not.
well,
It's
this
not
is
really
what I was going
important
to talk
to
about,
it.
James.
You know.
James is doing visual gags on the stream, everyone, which are quite funny to be fair. But inappropriate, please stop doing it.
Yeah, please stop doing it, James. He's found a button, bless him. It's like, do you know what it's like? It's like when your dad finds like, oh, I've got a new app that shows you where the aeroplanes are and where they're going. If you just point it to the sky, and you're like, fine, but no one cares. Can you stop doing it and telling us what's going on? I agree with you, Cal, to some extent, but I think we're pretty good at not talking about the chat, treating it like a podcast.
We barely really reference it, and if we do, we actually read out what the chat are saying. We don't say, well, the chat's just whatever the chat says is brilliant.
Yeah, well, everyone in the chat's having a great time.
We often say, Chod said the writer is a knob, for instance, as an example.
It's very rare that the people in the chat are having a great time, though, Sean. So we haven't had the chance to say that yet.
Yeah, we're often chatting amongst themselves anyway, bored about what we're saying. So if anything,
but again, to me, the way we reference the chat is no different to like, oh, someone's texted in and said XYZ and corrected us on some bullshit we've said.
08742.
yeah, all right, okay, yeah, true, but this is kind of when you're listening to a podcast and there's a live element to it, you kind of feel like you're not involved. Like I don't know, man. Like,
I listen to Alice and John religiously every week. The podcast is a recording of a radio show.
Okay. I am outvoted in this.
I just shrugged my shoulders. Everyone listening to the podcast.
I'm okay with that.
I think it's fine. I think we mention it, but we can mention it more if people want.
See, as I said, I wouldn't.
That is a great comment, Sean. I agree. Sorry, what's that? Oh,
shit. Sorry.
Oh,
what's James doing now?
What's happened, James?
I just knocked over my bottle of water, and
you need to deal with that.
Fortunately, the lid was on, so it was fine.
Okay, good. Right. Okay, let's go on to the next bit of feedback.
At this point, a cow's thinking, I just wish I'd talked to the chat more than refer to the water didn't spill.
See, that's why I asked you to move on to the next bit of the feedback. We were done that. We were done. It was not worth dragging that on for that comment. That was a terrible bit. That was terrible.
Again, you've got to give it.
No, I haven't. You've got to trust me. Let's move on. Oh no, I've got another comment about the cow. It wasn't gold though, and I
wasn't that time. But the next one, if I do it 100 times, 90 of them will be good. I think.
I don't know.
50.
I think you're way over.
20 of them will be good.
Okay, let's move on.
10. Right. Where was I? Jack Miller. 5 of them will be good. If ever there's a James Farley best bits, then it worked in the end. Sean got a trophy. Fuck off. Absolutely needs to be in there. Class pod as usual, lads. Appreciate y'all from Jack.
This was when James was reacting to us saying that he doesn't really actually do anything. And then he bought Le Tournoi, the worst run competitive tournament of all time, to the mix.
That's bullshit. It was not the worst run. I mean, it worked out.
We did get 2 rounds in and still didn't really know what the scoring system was.
Yeah, that was adjusted for the enjoyment of the viewers.
Yeah, thanks to the participants.
Yeah.
James, there was one episode where people couldn't actually watch the competitive match that was going on.
No, they could watch the televised ones.
Right, okay. And then there was another one where where you started the stream before the final week and said, I really hope such and such doesn't win because that cocks up the point system so much.
Unfortunately, it worked out.
Like, it could potentially be a draw, and we had no contingency for that, did we?
Yeah, it would have been all right. It worked out in the end.
I promise I'm not doing this to wind up a cow with a bowler hat on, but Matt's video has frozen.
Right, okay, so
are we just going to run with it?
Point. No, this is an edit point for now.
Okay.
We've been having, so people watching live, we've been having lots of camera issues this week for some reason. I don't know why. James dropped out. Matt, if you try and fix it now,
I will.
Then and that's the last time. If he freezes again, we're done, right? We'll just carry on.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. There must be some problem with Video Ninja.
I'm assuming it's is it a USB thing? Maybe it's a wobbly cable.
No, nothing's really plugged in. I haven't really taken anything out or plugged anything in my PC.
Yeah, but James had the same issue, didn't he? James had an issue earlier.
No, my Chrome just crashed. That was it.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. I mean, if it happens again, I'll just keep an eye on it and I'll just leave the chat and come back in. I don't think it'll be an issue.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Where were we?
Okay. Right. Where were we? We were talking about.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll just get on to that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Leon Low.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. I need to. Let's finish that bit. Yeah, but there was that time. Also, there was that time, James, where before the final, you said to us, you said, "I hope Sean doesn't win because that really cocks up the point system." It was like, right, okay, well, what are we supposed to do with that then? Are we supposed to fake who wins?
Well, no, we didn't have to in the end. Yeah.
Wasn't it if you won, Dave, then it would be a draw between me
Yeah,
and
it was. It was if David got equal points, then that would have been a problem. But it wasn't.
We didn't have a tiebreaker planned or anything. No.
There would have been, but unfortunately wasn't need for it.
The last one was poker, right? And it was between me and Matt.
Yeah.
And it was down to if I'd have won that, then me and you would have tied for first place. Okay, all right. Next bit of feedback, Matt.
Leon Logo. Every time you guys discuss the DualSense capabilities, I always want to send this feedback, but I always forget. After Astro's Playroom, the absolute best use of a DualSense I've experienced is in Demon's Souls Remake. The haptics feel different depending on the weapon you're swinging, and the controller speaker emits a little ding when your weapon hits an object. It's all quite subtle, but the little touches really help to make it one of the most immersive games I've played in a while. It also looks stunning. If any of you need to scratch the FromSoft itch again, I really recommend giving it a try. Appreciate y'all, and thanks for the dope pods. Sincerely, Leon Logo.
Oh, a good shout. I never played that. I must admit, I've played games where the speaker has a little ding when you hit something, or you can hear the reload of that, and that's always annoying. I've never liked that.
It depends on how loud it is, because sometimes
it's usually too loud.
Yeah, that is usually the problem, because it was like that with FIFA. Like with the first version of FIFA on PS5, it was ridiculous. Every time you scored a goal, it would make the sound of the ball hitting the net, and it was so loud. It was so loud. Yeah, I switched it off.
Like spatially, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Like you hearing the sound coming in your hand, crotch or whatever, it doesn't make sense with what you're seeing.
Reloading of the gun makes more sense, right? Yeah. Because it's in your hands, right? But
or games where if there's if your phone's ringing or whatever, and then that sort of works.
Like I still think the funniest was when it was first introduced on the PS4, and we all played that Rezo gun game.
Oh yeah,
it was
way too loud.
Screaming at you. Everyone went fucking hell. Yeah, funny. And next,
the Ton Dog. Hi lads, long-time listener, first-time caller. Excellent start to the show last week, despite you all receiving an absolute drubbing from the Anorak squad. There was all intricate detail behind bearskin hats and aqueducts. Bore off. It's like listening to Radio 4, but with more uses of the C word.
Okay.
I did that because I'm editing this week. My suggestion, keep a tally of all the shit feedback and count down from an arbitrary number. Listeners can continue to correct you on the release dates of games from 20 years ago, but once you hit 0, the paywall comes up, or you can always bin off the show entirely. Thanks for lifting it and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Tom Dog. I
admire how forthright that is.
Same here, but also it was definitely the correct use of that. Like, this feedback thing was supposed to be for people going, look, here's the thing. When we did the feedback thing at the start of the show, we were thinking if we got dates wrong or consoles wrong, or if we, said mispronouncing something, it would be good to address it and go back and before we move on to the next show. But that's turned into, I think David's a dick, and here's the reason why. And the tone
Sean breathes too loudly on each recording. Can you kill him?
Why does Sean keep saying enter thing here, comment here? It's like, so I cannot have a go at Tom C, was it last week? That pointed out Adam C.
The C is,
well, yes, we get it, Matt. Just stop. Next bit of feedback.
Seventh song. Dear TCGS and regular guest James, I feel like you confused yourselves as you talked about the Xbox and their quest to put Game Pass on every platform. The target is not EA or Ubisoft, it's Android, iOS, Samsung, LG, and so on. Platforms that mostly do not have a games library. We know that Apple wants to have a games library, Google maybe, but why wouldn't Samsung and LG want a Game Pass app on their smart TVs? Anyway, interesting conversation as always. Keep up the good work as the best gaming podcast in the world.
I mean, I think he's confused as to what we were saying there. Because that's not what we were saying, I thought. No. We were talking about why would EA and Ubisoft want to be in Game Pass, like when they can have their own platforms instead.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It's not a case of what devices Game Pass is on. It's whether EA or Ubisoft include their libraries within it.
Yeah, totally. That was the point we were trying to make, and sometimes, but maybe we say the wrong things, but we just
sometimes people hear the wrong things.
I know. I'm trying to stop myself saying you didn't listen because it just sounds awful. But I think you may not have listened to that bit Seventh Son. Yeah, we were definitely talking about it.
But at least they were really polite about it. It's better than what sometimes when we get ones that are like, I can't believe you said this thing you never actually said because I wasn't listening properly. Like,
yeah.
But I like those ones more because it's like just
because it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's true. All right. Next.
Funny Name 3 has messaged, please can the Sean Bashers have a week off? Is that also the name of your fans?
Sean
No,
Bashers.
it's the name
Sean
of Sean.
Bashers.
I don't know.
Yeah, Sean definitely wrote this in.
What sort of bashing are we talking?
Okay.
That depends.
Yeah, hello, Sean. Hashtag Sean Bashers. Anyway, please can the Sean Bashers have a week off? So what if he says a lot, interrupts now and then? At least he's turning up every week and putting the effort in, unlike certain Captain T pose. Maybe they should get down to local Sainsbury's and see if they got any Clue in stock. They should buy it if they have, in case that wasn't clear. Anyway, keep up the good work.
But this is from somebody called Sean.
Yeah.
Okay. James, thoughts?
We should bring back get a clue as an insult, shouldn't we? Get a
Get
clue,
a
mate.
clue.
Well,
No,
let's bring it back. I think if we bring it back, that'll be enough.
That's a terrible insult. I don't know what's our Discord. I think is full of some of our most hardcore fans, and their reaction to the idea of you interrupting everyone was like, "Well, what about David though?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, you're probably right. Actually, I am worse. Next
Fact. Chris Finch, I'm the one everyone really likes, even though I'm hardly ever in the show. And fuck off, Arlene, get your own gimmick from Chris Finch from Slough.
Bloody good rep. Bloody good rep.
In case anyone's curious, I did remove a lot of jokes about Farley not being on the show very much.
What do you mean? What from what?
Just in the feedback, there was another 2 or 3 where they're like, "Oh yeah, maybe mix it up with the guests. This Farley guy keeps showing up."
That one, someone said that. It was so funny. Maybe mix it up with the guests. We've had Farley on 3 times in a row. The thing is, that's it now. That's it. That's your thing. This is going to be referred to for the rest of the time.
I dared to go back to see family that we hadn't seen for 5 years.
It's a month off the show.
You didn't want to go, James.
Yeah,
I know I didn't, but I still had to for my family, didn't I?
Yeah, they not have microphones and fucking internet over there, no. Right, let's get to the next bit of feedback, Matt.
Yeah, last bit. Tiny Tim, dear sirs, as a 13-year-old footballer, I'd like to let Mr. Murray know that I have been that kid. I've let my team down.
Every time we get a message from Tiny Tim.
Yeah, I do get it every
doing
time.
This, I wanted to say this. Whoever does Tiny Tim, you're incredible. And I'll tell you why. Because you're not constantly messaging in. You're picking just the right time for me to forget Tiny Tim. And then it arrives and it makes me laugh every time. And the fact that it always starts with, as a 13-year-old footballer. And as I said, it's brilliant. I've got a lot of time for Tiny Tim.
Same.
I like it because I'm very sure Tiny Tim was a 13-year-old footballer when the podcast started. So that's what I like.
No, I think they've
No,
aged in
that's
real
what I'm
time.
saying. I think they are aging in real time. Yeah, I have to go back and listen to an old one. But it's so hard to choose which one's Tiny Tim is written into. That's the problem.
Okay, as a 13-year-old footballer, I like to let Mr. Murray know that I have been that kid. I've let my team down when they wanted to play FIFA, and I've responded that I'm too busy. But really, I didn't want them to take the piss in front of my other online friends. I've spoken to my actual coach about your situation, and he said he'd gladly play Volta with you at your pace and skill level. Any evening you're available, Mr. Murray, just let me know.
Whoa, is Tiny Tim from the Minty Biscuit? Is this someone we know?
Oh, no. But I hope not.
This is the sort of jokes we make about you in the Minty Bisc, Matt. Not behind your back. You're there when we make them, so it's fine.
Good save.
But this is exactly what we say about you in the Minty Bisc group. So
this has got Jay or Chris written all over it, isn't it?
I think it might have. I think Tiny Tim was about before Chris. I don't think it's Chris. Might be Jay. I don't know. It's very good.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that actually, Tiny Tim. I might actually reach out to you because it would be nice to play some Volta. That's it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Leave your feedback.
Okay, let's get to the news with James Farley.
Jim Ryan is retiring as PlayStation CEO. He's leaving at the end of this year, and he's going to be succeeded by Hiroki Totoki, who is going to take over for an interim amount of time, and then somebody else will probably take over. Do you want to hear what he had to say about this?
What was the replacement's name?
Hiroki Totoki. No, Totoki.
Okay.
There you go, Totoki. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Why?
Okay. I don't know, because I just hearing his name.
It does rhyme, and that is quite. This
I'm
isn't like
thinking
he.
of,
He's got an
Hiroki
unusual
Totoki.
name. There's a rhyme to it, and that is inherently quite amusing.
Yeah, every time I hear his name now, I'm going to be thinking, knees bend, arms stretch, rah, rah, rah. Is that offensive?
Because the amusement is that it rhymes, right?
Right,
That's
okay, fine.
anyone with a rhyming name, that's funny.
Okay, fine, okay. So the Jim Ryan things. How old's Jim Ryan then?
He's been at PlayStation for 30 years.
No, that's the word. The question was it?
Started when he was 7.
He's 13.
How old is Jim Ryan? Why haven't we got this information?
Because it doesn't say Jim Ryan, 64.
No, it doesn't.
Who cares?
Because I care, because I want to know how old these people could be when they retire.
Let's all guess. Right, I think Dave's obviously Googling it.
Yeah,
looking at him.
I'm guessing he's 54.
54. I was going to say, I'm going to say 59.
59.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, his
He's
fandom
still got his
page
own
is
wiki.
incomplete.
Yeah, he's not got his own wiki. It's absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to say
that.
he. What are the guesses so far?
54.
He's got decent hair though for 50s, but it looks 50s. I think.
I'm going to say 56.
How old is
I mean,
Jim
he's
Ryan?
what David's going to look like when he's that age.
Okay, I've got it. I've got the answer. So you reckon 54,
I'll
Matt?
say 59.
I've gone 56.
56. He is 63 years of age.
God damn.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, according to this.
Clearly looking after
Wanker's has got
himself.
more hair than me. He's 23 years older.
Hold on, wait. It says, hold on. This is Jesus. This is
God,
from
go on.
Google.
This is Jesus.
Current age in 2023, 63 years. Age in 2021, approximately 53 years. What? Like, there's
Where's he been?
something's not quite right here.
Is he a Time Lord?
Inconclusive is the answer. He is around 55 years old as of 2023. This is all just complete. I'm seeing 55 seems to be the most. 63-year-old executive. This is all nonsense, and it's hard to follow. Will we ever retire? That's the question.
We won't.
Because that's what I think about. Could you imagine retiring in your 50s? That's just never going to be a thing anymore, is it? Unless you're rich.
That was Jill's dream, but I think I might be bored. I don't know. It's a nice idea, I guess.
I don't see myself ever retiring. I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
You don't seem like someone that would do well in retirement.
Oh, thanks.
No, I'm just saying, like, you'd retire and then just slowly go right wing. Like,
Slowly.
Just like
You've got nothing else to do,
rapidly.
just
Sorry,
like speed it up.
It's a massive insult, but yeah. Do you want to hear the quote for Jim Ryan? What he had to say about working at PlayStation? Yeah? All right.
Yeah, go on.
So, after 30 years, I've made the decision to retire from SIE in March 2024. I've relished the opportunity to have a job I love in a very special company, working with great people and incredible partners. But I found it increasingly difficult to reconcile living in Europe and working in North America. I will leave having been privileged to work on products that have touched millions of lives across the world. PlayStation will always be part of my life, and I feel more optimistic than ever about the future of SIE. I want to thank Yoshida-san for placing so much trust in me and being an incredible, sensitive and supportive leader. And there you go.
All right, honestly, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
But also, I've never really had a thing... Like, I've never really had an opinion on Jim Ryan either way, to be honest with you.
I think for me it's mostly been negative. He's sent a bunch.
Really?
He has said some things. Which have
He said
been
some daft
silly
things, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like over the last couple
Like
of.
what?
Well, like when he was looking at like Ridge Racer or something, and then he was like, "Why would anyone ever want to play this now?" You know, it was like it's.
Well, he's got a point.
Well, he has, yeah, but that upsets people that like video games, David. It's like.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know what they're like.
Lara Croft is a pile of shit. Oh, Jim, can you just please retire? Okay.
I mean, are we all agreement that the acquisition hit him hard? The fact that Microsoft won that, he's like, I just can't. I'm done.
No.
I reckon
I'm
the bigger
done.
thing here is the live service games thing, because that was his.
Possibly.
That's been
he's
his
set that
whole
all in
thing.
motion, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's been his whole thing. And apparently, I mean, from reading between the lines on some of these stories, like there's disquiet about the live services strategy. It seems. But that people and maybe some of the studios are not entirely happy about shifting their games towards live services.
It's a perfect time for him to get out because he can say he set them up. Now, if they're amazing, that was his legacy. He set them up. He was there. And if they're rubbish, like, well, I wasn't even there, mate. So
What do you mean he set them up? He set them up.
As in, like, what wasn't that his vision?
Because that was his vision. It was the strategy was live service games. Was like smooth.
Great strategy. He that's his legacy. If they're shit,
I don't think that's how it works, though, is it? They're not thinking about he will want to.
Because when you're at that level, you're making decisions that nudge the tiller in for 5-10 years time.
Yeah.
I mean, like you look at if it goes well, you can be like, well, that was all my idea.
Right. Okay, but
and if it goes badly, you're like, oh well, I wasn't there. So
it's true though, because look at Don Matrick. Like Don Matrick did that with Xbox One. He set that in that direction. And it's taken this long for Microsoft to recover from it. Yeah,
Jim Ryan's the sort of person who want to cling on to power for as long as possible. He's not thinking, "Oh, God, I'll dip out now just in case of shit."
That.
Yes, but you don't know what you're saying either.
Power mad. I've met.
We don't.
It's a great time to get out.
You don't get to that level without being power mad, right? Like that's what you need to be power mad.
But I mean, ultimately, we have no idea. Like the live services thing, just guessing. But it's a guess.
In the podcasting world,
I'm power mad right now.
No one believes that. No one believes that, Matt.
You don't think I'm power mad?
You don't say it with the gusto that I do.
Okay,
like I'm power mad. You go.
Matt's laughing. Matt thinks power's a joke, Dave. Look at him.
I'm power mad.
I'm power mad, me. How are you, mate? Yeah.
Doesn't have to be power mad here, but it works. It doesn't.
Fucking hell.
I mean, that's the episode title.
Bit long. Is this going to be one of these shows?
It might be. I took my migraine medicine earlier, so I'm a write-off.
You off your face?
Yeah, basically.
I'm walking out sunshine.
Right. Okay. Where were we?
I've given my excuse. I don't know what Matt's is.
I'm also taking headache tablets, and I don't have a headache.
Okay,
James.
I'm just fed up.
No, I mean about the story.
Is that the Jim Ryan quote about why he's?
No, that's a real quote.
I mean, either way, he's going. Who's going to take over? I'm wondering, is Phil Harrison free? Because
or Matt.
Yeah. PS5's due, a bit of disaster, isn't it? When I get Phil Harrison in. Oh, things are going a bit too well. Let's get Phil Harrison in, shake things up.
Can I just get this straight, everyone? James has read the story about Jim Ryan retiring. It's mentioned in that story who's taking over. We then made jokes about that person's name, and then right at the end of the story, James went, "I'm just interested in who's taking over."
Yeah, it's the interim,
David. That's an interim.
I mean, what happens with interims?
If you'd have listened,
you know what happens to interims? Yeah, they do a good job and they stay on, don't they, James?
That's true.
That does happen sometimes, unfortunately.
Next.
So MetaQuest 3 has also got a date. It's coming on October the 10th.
Oh yeah, who was it? Asked them out to the prom.
Well done.
It is going to be one of those shows, isn't it? It's like
things are getting silly.
You've been putting out there, a lot of swiping. Well done.
Don't take your date to the cinema because it's actually a very, you don't really get to know each other. MetaQuest 3. Who's buying one? Go on, Matt. You getting one for free, aren't you? Because you work in the industry. You could be open and honest about it.
I don't think he gets one for free.
Probably not.
He can use one in the office.
He gets one for free, doesn't he?
I don't think it works like that, Dave.
He gets several for free. It's like one for each room.
Well, he should be getting
ones in the
free,
office
to be honest
that he can borrow. Officially.
Anyway,
what are you trying to get a fucking job there, Sean? What's going on?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. I just feel like Matt is uncomfortable discussing this, so I'm just trying to.
No, it's fine. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure at one point.
Matt's already nicked one.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
Four
That's why he doesn't. That's why he's
gone
quiet.
I don't understand why you're not hooking up. I don't know why you're not hooking up.
Point your camera around to your desk.
Put your camera around to your desk.
There's too many boxes. Yeah, if I move to the left, 500 Quest 3s to my left.
I am not getting one yet.
You've got a 2 though, right? So
I've got a 2. This is the thing.
Right.
I was like, I need to just actually, because I haven't used the 2 in ages, I need to just charge it up and use it again. And then if I see anything about the Quest 3 where I'm like, oh, fair play, that looks loads better than what I've currently got, then I'll weigh it up. The other factor is it might be on my work salary sacrifice scheme.
Better.
So I might have a look at that. That would soften the blow, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't got, what is it, 460?
479.
479.
I've got a question for you, James.
I haven't got that much money.
Oh, go on.
Someone comes up to you, and they go, here's Quest 3. You can have that, and I take your PSVR 2.
That's a good question.
It is a good question. Go on. Don't anyone say anything. I want just James's thoughts. Come up to you. Hello, mate. Here's a brand new Quest 3. Take that, and I'll swap you for the PSVR 2.
At this stage, I probably would take that, actually.
Whoa, that's James admitting that he was wrong about it.
No, because
just so you know, yes. That's James admitting that he was wrong about the whole thing.
Those
to you, Sean. You're okay.
How was I wrong about it? It doesn't make any. It's
well,
you
were
to do
talking
with that.
about how shit the Quest was and how great the PSVR 2
Yeah, I was talking about how shit the Quest 2 and the original Quest are compared with newer tech. Shall we say?
Oh, what? Quest 3's.
You see that little eyebrow then? Sorry, podcast listeners. James just did a little raised eyebrow. It was amazing.
Well, there's a certain bear with a top hat on that's going to be fuming. Was he a bear? I can't even fucking remember that. So yeah, I mean, you'd be mad not to, right?
Yeah, I mean, the reason because
them.
I'd have more confidence. There's probably going to be games coming out on the Quest 3 than there is on the PSVR 2. Because
don't say that. The PSVR 2 will get loads of Quest 3 ports eventually.
Yeah, next year sometime, like
No, I mean, I know we joke about it, but October is absolutely slammed for PSVR 2 releases. Whether you want to get them,
I know we joke about it, but I have a vested interest in this too.
But I guess out of the 2, yeah, I mean, Quest 3 looks very
good. But also, I mean, with the Quest 3, I can also use productivity apps like Microsoft Office 365 and augmented reality features, like placing a virtual display within a user's room.
He's on the store now. He's going to buy one, Sean. He's going to buy one.
He's pre-ordering right now. Because that was something they showed off, wasn't it? In that, so you can make this sort of virtual environment in your living room or whatever, and you can put things on the wall, but they can be like fucking portals into other dimensions. And I don't know. I can't see myself ever really bothering. But...
Well, this is it. So, like, I've been thinking about. I've been saying all year I'm going to get Quest 3. That was going to be my plan. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to play PokerStars VR, and I'm going to play Walkabout Mini Golf, and I'm going to play those intensely for like 2 weeks, and then not use it again for ages. And then I thought, but I can do that with my Quest 1 still. So I really don't need to spend 460, 70 quid on one of these new headsets.
I mean, I could do that with my PSVR 2 as well, like at the moment, because they all came out on it.
James. Smug James.
He's now trying to do the eyebrow again, and he can't. Yeah. It was just one. It was just
just one?
Yeah.
Not only that, I've got a mate in the industry who's going to hook me up. So, you know, I'll end up with that Quest 3 eventually.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
But all the reports say, you know, it's very powerful. There's been a bunch of kind of comparisons, isn't there? Like Saints and Sinners on Quest 2 versus Quest 3. It looks really good, the stuff I've done. And I think even like Red Matter 2, which looks amazing on Quest 2, looks absolutely stunning on Quest 3.
Even amazinger.
Yeah. It's 480p rather than 360p. So it's
weary.
But you've just said that you'd switch. All your credibility's gone.
I wasn't just joking, innit?
No, all your credibility's gone. What? Next.
No. But the big one, James, obviously is Xbox Cloud Gaming on this. Right?
Yeah, but come on, is that really the big one? Who's going to do that?
Yeah, that was a strange announcement. Yeah. Surely presumably that's always. I suppose controls wouldn't work. I was going to say surely you could always load it up in a web browser on the Quest, but I don't know.
But yeah, it's being an native app. You connect your Xbox controller. I'll be very interested to know what it's like quality wise. I mean, not streaming. We know what that's like latency wise, but actual resolution wise.
Who's ever going to play their games like that?
Well, this is it, because it's like, because it's VR, you could make it absolutely massive, and it will look bad.
Yeah, you see, you can do. Obviously, you can do this with PSVR too. Like you can watch it on a cinema screen if you whatever, and it's fine. But you still would much rather watch it on a TV because it
you
just
haven't
looks
got a thing
better.
clamped to your head.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have access to TV there, James, and you want to play us on the train.
When I first got the Quest 2 and I used the Netflix app, and I remember thinking like, if I'd like just moved house, this would be great for a day, because you could like I don't have to set anything up. I can just put the thing on. Oh, I'm in like a lovely wooded lodge in the Alps. Right?
Yeah.
I'm
Not surrounded by boxes.
I was
Like,
going to say, Sean was
Exactly.
in his brand new bed set, and he's like, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Who needs space?
Yeah, who needs
play my
anything?
Xbox on it.
I'm jacked into the mainframe.
Yeah, be fine.
Okay, all right, we've done that. Go on, next.
okay, the next story is that Fortnite maker Epic Games is cutting its staff by 16%. And
You can just say Epic. You don't have to explain to us that they make Fortnite.
I know.
games.
Well, see, the problem with that, Sean, was
Yeah.
I started to read that, and then as I started to say it, I started to realise that I shouldn't have said that.
Lost
But then
track
I
of-
was committed to it and had to continue reading
Okay.
it because otherwise it would sound
Let's
weird.
move on.
Fortnite,
baby.
the explosive battle royale game.
Yeah.
Yeah, video games is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
and yet, one of
They're-
the biggest companies going is laying off a ton of people.
That is a lot of people.
830
16%.
people they're getting rid of. So Tim Sweeney said this. This was an email he sent to staff. He said, "For a while now, we've been spending way more than we earn, investing in the next evolution of Epic and growing Fortnite as a metaverse-inspired ecosystem for creators. I'd long been optimistic that we could power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see that this was unrealistic." And so, yeah, that's
Like I know this stuff isn't as simple as that, but does it not blow anyone else's mind just seeing Tim Sweeney go, "Yeah, well, we spent obviously way too much money and we thought it would be fine, but it's not." Like it's just I don't know. I just absolutely
I mean, they're
no
also
idea.
they're divesting 2 acquisitions as well. They're getting rid of Bandcamp, and then they're also spinning off this marketing company called Super Awesome as well. They're getting rid of as well. So, yeah.
Because I mean I never understood the purchase of Bandcamp in the
Yeah, that's
first
so
place, to be
weird.
honest. But that was only 18 months ago.
But was that?
Already
See,
flipping-
what I would like to know is how well has the Epic Game Store done? Because I never hear anything about it ever anymore.
Well,
And
not
it's-
brilliant by the looks of it. I'm just looking into it now, and this is a company that reportedly made $1 billion in profit in 2021, and it is going down every year. They're not making these cuts based on the profits they made in 2023. They're making these they're making these cuts based on projected profits they're going to be making in 5 to 10 years time, I
Yeah.
think. Which is just, I mean, it is awful. I don't think Epic are going to be in trouble as such, because their properties are so big. And as you say, they have got a storefront. Whether it's making that much profit or not, I don't know. But I think this
That
is
always
just
seemed like a
a
loss
reaction.
leader anyway, didn't it?
You got to remember, like 4 or 5 years ago, they were insanely big. They had the hottest property on the market. They were, in control of so much.
But they still
And
are.
it does-
Because
Yeah,
they,
no,
I mean, like the
totally, and they're
engine.
still
I mean,
making a
Well,
profit.
yeah.
the Unreal Engine. They must be making an absolute fortune on that in terms of like licensing it out. I mean, loads of people are using it, aren't they?
Yeah, not
It's-
just games, like TV, movies, and all sorts use it. So
Yeah.
that's probably doing well enough for them.
And
But when you
especially
see your
after all the
profits
Unity
declining
stuff.
year after year, then they're gonna make cuts, and that doesn't defend it. That's a lot of people being let go there.
I mean, do you want to hear what he said about Fortnite with this? Because he said, while Fortnite is starting to grow again, the growth is driven primarily by creator content with significant revenue sharing. And this is a lower margin business than we had when Fortnite Battle Royale took off and began funding our expansion. Success with the creator ecosystem is a great achievement, but it means a major structural change to our economics.
Didn't
Shit,
they?
innit?
Apparently, they've sneakily raised the cost of V-Bucks as well.
Yeah, by fair margin, I think.
Yeah. It's just like, because what really sucks as well is that the Fall Guys developers obviously were purchased by Epic a couple of years ago now, and they've lost a fair few staff as well apparently. And it just like, I don't know. To me, if you're like a small to medium size, indie studio and Epic comes knocking and they offer to buy you, presumably your first thought is, hooray, stability. Do you know? Like,
Yeah,
so to see that, you can be bought by Epic and then actually a couple of years later they're going to let loads of you go. It's just,
that happens.
I
That
think-
happens so often though.
I was gonna say, anyone who's
yeah.
been involved in like a merger or acquisition before, like ultimately it's about money for founders or senior management, whoever owns shares, whatever. But people will be losing their jobs. There'll be like change, and even if nothing really happens after a couple of years, once the golden handshake contracts and stuff run out, then there'll be even more change. So it's going to happen at some point. I mean, the initial bit, look at this injection of cash and resources, and when you look at say Microsoft buying studios, it feels a little bit different because you feel that's a longer term play. But that's not to say Microsoft haven't made redundancies and whatnot as well.
Well,
So
they
it happens
shut a whole
everywhere.
ton of studios, didn't they,
Exactly,
in the past?
Yeah,
it
they
does
did,
happen
yeah.
everywhere. When acquisitions happen, that ultimately will mean a reduction in staff at some point. Sadly.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Sega have also cancelled Hyenas, which was going to be this live service shooter they were going to put out, and
This one's insane.
yeah,
Because, I mean, it's not like... Because I know from like what we'd seen of it, we were... I mean, like, I don't think any of us were like super excited about Hyenas.
I actually
But
started a
what's-
Hyenas podcast. So
But well, this is the thing. You might well have done that because wasn't it due out like quite soon? So
Yeah.
I think they just had like an open beta for
yeah,
it. There was, like,
previews
a
were
new
very, very
trailer.
recent.
Yeah, so there was a new trailer like, a
they
few weeks
positive?
ago, and it was like another. Was it like a hero / extraction shooter?
Yes.
I
Extraction
think? But
shooter,
it,
yeah.
But it
Yeah.
really leaned into the Sega stuff, right? There was loads of funny like
Well, yeah,
Sega
the
fan
whole-
service in it.
the whole thing was it was supposed to be like the Payday games, where it was
Yeah.
the idea was that you're doing like a heist or whatever,
Okay.
but the stuff you're stealing was like collectibles, like
Sonic
things like
figurines and stuff.
and like
It seemed genuinely funny, and I was quite up for it. And it's just incredible that it obviously got this far, and now they're choosing to bin it.
I mean, the reason is really strange as well because it says here the cancellation was due to the lower profitability of the European region. That was one of the reasons they gave for
Yeah, I read that
cancelling it.
quote. Like, what did they elaborate on that?
I mean, is this because is it Creative Assembly that was making this?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
And they're based in Europe, aren't they? I
UK.
think. So that must be maybe they're just saying Creative Assembly hasn't done as well as they thought it was going to, or whatever, and
Yeah,
then that's
right.
the reason.
But then,
But
but then
but
was
that's
it not
conjecture again.
obvious? Like, because this game's been in development for years.
Hmm.
Was there not a point before now where it was clear that maybe it should be banned?
I mean, also, in this article, this was The Verge posted this. They said that Sega executives said that it had been a challenging development for this game.
Yeah. Which
well,
which is no comment on Creative Assembly.
No, it's
because
not at all,
this stuff happens all the time.
But
It's just usually, whoever's holding the purse strings usually, like, because obviously a developer's going to keep trying to make it work. Right?
Yeah.
and it seems like the problem here was on the game's business model. That's what The Verge are hinting at. That was that was the issue, like free to play. The whole how that was going to work. But then also it says Sega are also planning to implement layoffs at Creative Assembly as well. So that's the other thing that's happening. Yeah.
Not been a good week.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't at all. Okay.
Next story is that EA has removed FIFA from its back catalogue from digital storefronts. This is as FC 24 has come out. They've got rid of every title from 14 to 23. You can't get them anymore, so there'll be no more. Yeah,
Sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Like they're rebranding. They want to get rid of the FIFA name as much as possible. And I've got to
it does make
say-
sense, but it's shit from a preservation point of view, right?
Well, it is, but then going to any CEX in the country,
Yeah,
exactly.
there are 500 copies of each one of those FIFA
Yeah.
games. And also, you could probably just buy one of them and consider the 5 either side as preserved.
And I wonder if older servers on. I mean, like this is going to
That's true. Yeah,
save
I don't
them
know.
a packet on all their servers if they didn't have to turn off 9
I
years
think
worth
it's
of
more
FIFA
to
games.
do with the fact that it's a branding thing, right? And they're
I
trying
don't know.
to get.
It makes sense to have a clean break for sure. Absolutely.
And I've got to say, right? I have got to say that I look. FIFA is such a long-established series of video games, and I know some people don't count them because they're seen as I don't know. It seems like it's because they're every yearly and they're football, and not everyone's into football. Blah blah blah. But it's a huge series of video games that dates back for decades, right? The transition to FC24 is pretty incredible what they've done. Like, it's not perfect. People still call it FIFA. I still call it FIFA, every now and then. But it's not felt weird like at no point have I looked at that and gone, "Oh, this is cringe," or "It doesn't work," or "It doesn't feel right." You see that logo, the FC logo, everywhere, like all over real football. You see how that they were building up to it in the last FIFA game by dropping it into the matches themselves. It's you've got to say the branding team behind that, fair fucking play, great. Man. You've done about as good as you possibly can do.
Even the fact that it's we call it FC, it's still 2 syllables like FIFA. Like they've and Football Club is just a great. It's it's a game obviously synonymous with the real life game. It just Football Club, they were trying to build a huge community. It's a great game, a great name. Sorry, FC works. It's easy to say as FIFA. So yeah, you're totally right. And I do love the triangle branding. I know they've obviously said
it looks brilliant.
The first FIFA games with triangles over the players' heads and. No, I think it's they've done a great job considering, as you say, like
the one of the kids in my little league team come up to me and said, "Have you got FC24 yet?" And I was like, "Of course." It's so much easier for you, and they've made it as easy as possible for you to just go FC24 now.
I mean, apparently sales have been down, like physical sales have been down compared with FIFA last year, but then I still don't think that really counts for anything because so many people are buying digital now that it's
the percentage of digital sales goes up every single year.
I thought sure of it today. Isn't it like the second biggest kind of like physical launch of the year?
It is, but that's still back from last year. It's still not as high as it was last year.
Yeah, it won't be. Year by year, the physical sales just goes down and down. I would say
you forget, there will genuinely be a portion of the audience that are just like, "Oh, what's this? It's not FIFA. FIFA must not be out yet."
I don't know, man. I think they've done. If they are, due to how good that branding team has been. The percentage or the amount of people that might do that is got smaller and they've made that as small as humanly possible because it is I'm so impressed with how they've done it, and it's weird to go, hey, well done on selling your multi-billion-pound project or whatever, but at the same time you've got to look at it and go, fuck, every now and then something is done right, and the rebranding from FIFA to FC24 is a mad one, really. Okay.
Next story is that Capcom said that they would gracefully decline any acquisition offer from Microsoft. And
no one's asking Capcom.
No, they were. It's apparently they were because there has been conversations apparently. But I mean, so Capcom were speaking with Bloomberg and they said I think they were talking about mergers and acquisitions in general, and they were talking about this for Capcom themselves, and they said I think. There have been many merger and acquisition talks in the game industry. There was once a time when we were a target, but rather than acquiring an outside company, we prefer organic growth. It's important to train and develop human resources in-house to carry out growth strategies. I also believe we can utilise external partners without having to acquire companies. But then they were asked directly about Microsoft buying them, and they said, we would gracefully decline the offer because I believe it would be better if we were equal partners instead. So
when did they say
merger
this?
is now outside the realms of possibility then. That's what they're saying.
When did they say this? It wouldn't have happened. When did they say this?
This story is from. I'm going to have to click it now, which is annoying.
Just looking at the shares, and they have gone
it's
down.
It's the 25th of September. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the odd dip in shares.
No, I mean, this makes sense because like Capcom are flying at the moment.
Yeah,
they have been for a little while now. Street Fighter's fully back. Like Resident Evil's good again. Remember, there was a time when Resident Evil wasn't good.
Yeah,
and now it is. And like Monster Hunter's a big deal.
Yeah, Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I really hope more studios publishers or whatever just stay independent. It's just I don't know.
Could do without all of them getting hoovered up.
Yeah.
Much as I like to see everything on Game Pass, it's
You love a bit of Game Pass, don't you? Sure.
I do love a bit. Well, it's like not paying for things. Legally not paying for things. It's the best.
You're paying for it, boy. Don't you worry about that. Is that it for the news?
That is, although I've got a fantasy zone.
Oh shit!
Here we go.
Oh, get him.
Guys, fantasy zone.
Whoa! Oh my god, look at Dave.
God.
Look what's happened to his face.
No, you can't do a visual gag.
He's trans. Oh yeah. It's
Oh
not
my
good for the
god,
listeners, though.
I am having an absolute meltdown here. What is going on? Here we are in live reporting from Farley's Fantasy Zone. I'm seeing James Farley butt naked.
And erect.
I mean, the news was going to do that to everybody, Matt. Like, it's just I already know you don't know yet, and it's you know.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
I feel a bit sick actually. I think the travel. I don't do well with the travel. I think this trip to the fantasy zone is a bit too much for me. But let's see if it's worth it.
He's weak.
I'm weak,
stomach.
but I'm ready to be. I'm ready to be pumped up with all this news. Go.
I want to hear it. What's in your fantasy zone this week?
This is mark my words. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mark the words while I've
You're going to stand by this. This is going to happen, is it?
This is going to happen. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be officially revealed tomorrow. That's October the 3rd. God. That's what's going to happen.
This is big.
Yeah.
If this actually happens, and and
this
in
is
the podcast
amazing.
on Wednesday, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, Tuesday. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this will have already happened by the time you're listening to this.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
GTA
If you're
6
listening to this on the pod,
revealed officially.
How much are you willing to put down on this?
I'm not putting down anything down now. Not after what happened last time. Forget it. That's not happening. Forget
How
it.
comes I swear the last 3 or 4 fantasy zones have been about GTA 6.
Well, it's the
it's very
next
easy
big
to do,
thing,
isn't
isn't
it?
it? Probably.
Are you part of a community?
No.
You part of a GTA community?
Yeah,
Jack?
so when people listen to the Wednesday, they're like, oh my god, this is the first one that's actually come true. When the worldwide reveal. Well, it's not going to happen, is it?
Or more likely, they'll be like, why is he saying that? Was there? Oh, no, there wasn't.
Yeah. It's not going to happen
mark
because
my
they would
words.
often tease this for a week, wouldn't they?
It's going to
They wouldn't
happen.
drop out of the blue.
Yeah. It's not out of the blue.
What's the sort? Where's this from?
Well, he's
I
not allowed to say,
I
is he?
can't reveal
never
my
does that,
sources, Sean.
Oh, because they'll get shot. Okay.
Is
And
it
don't
from
you
a
dare
forum?
Google it, Sean. Do not dare Google it.
Is it from a forum, James?
I'm not saying it's, but just look,
God.
just mark my words. It's
I
going to
like
be
this.
officially
If
revealed
it was-
tomorrow.
If it was
This
Jeff
is,
Grob, he would say. So it's not Jeff Grob.
I'm not saying what this is. This
No,
is
'cause even
Tuesday.
Jeff Grob knows that's bollocks.
But stop
James,
trying to
I've got to
pump
tell-
me for my
James.
sources.
They
not
will
trying to pump
generally
James, I
do like
wouldn't
a
do that to you.
countdown. They're not going to say trailers out now.
Do
They're
they?
going to say.
I don't think they do they?
Yeah, I'm very sure they'll. Yeah, like
No.
even if it's up 2 or 3 days, they wouldn't like.
You
trailers
say
out.
this like the amount of times you've said, "Oh,
No,
this is what."
okay, right. This is when
Rockstar do,
Sarah
and
Dye
then
will
you're
pop
wrong.
in and say, "Actually, Matt, you're wrong." But no, like I swear there's been a countdown for like
No,
GTA.
I swear they
saying,
usually
like,
just post a tweet with like an image and the
Yeah.
name across it first.
yeah, and basically saying like, "Come
Well,
back in
that's
like
the
2 days
reveal.
time."
Yeah, but that's the reveal.
Yeah.
That would be the reveal.
It would
if
be,
they
yeah.
tweet out the
Oh,
GTA
hang on.
6.
Oh, so it's not the trailer tomorrow. It's what?
It's going to be officially revealed tomorrow, October the 3rd.
Why do
Tuesday.
people keep saying tomorrow though? That's the thing that I'm wrapping my head around. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow. It's weird.
Nothing.
Tomorrow.
Nothing on Jeff Grubb's Twitter account.
Because
Maybe-
he's not
maybe
that
if I was
stupid,
direct
Sean.
line.
Look, stop trying to work it out, okay? Just trust me. It's happening
Okay.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We keep saying tomorrow, but it's yesterday if you're
Yeah.
listening to the pod on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Everyone
you
knows
will
that.
know whether James is full of shit or
Everyone
not.
knows there's
Oh
actually
my God.
100 players battle royale.
Jokes aside, right? Jokes aside, can I just talk to Sean for a sec? Jokes
sure.
aside, Sean,
Yeah.
how amazing would this be if this happens? Can you
That'd be
imagine?
great.
Can
Of
you
course it'd be
imagine?
fantastic. Yeah.
What are you
Because
talking
you get
about
people
now?
being like, "Oh, well, they've edited this in, obviously," and then but then there's video. There's video
Oh my
proof.
god, I love it so
Timestamps.
much. Okay, thanks for that. It was a great fantasy. That's my favourite fantasy zone you've ever done.
That's a good one.
I'm loving that. That's good. Digifolio in the chat is saying they found the source and saying I love you, James Farley, so it's got to be pretty stupid. Should we get on to what you've been playing this week?
Yeah, I want to go to the toilet. Can I just go to the toilet?
Toilet break.
Yeah.
Toilet break.
So
I'm going to set my camera to manual focus because it's on auto and it just doesn't
yeah,
work.
it does that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
okay.
Matt, can I ask, how much does it irritate you that you've got that wicked neon TCGS sign, but you can't actually read it? I was thinking
Well, I
of
did
this
it on
the other
purpose
day.
'cause I changed the the f stop so it's slightly blurred. I can change that as much as I want, but that's
Go on, see if so I can read it.
Oh, hang on. I'm not changed this a while.
The F stop.
There you go.
The what?
Yeah. So if I go this.
Yeah, why wouldn't you have that? That looks
'Cause
amazing.
I wanted it more. I just wanted it more blurred, and I didn't want to have. Yeah, I just wanted a bit more. It's probably too much now. Let's see.
But you've like that looks wicked like that.
Hello. So,
Well, no, because I think if you know, you know. It's more. I guess that's a little bit better. But I'm gonna have to change the brightness now.
I said to Matt, why?
I guess I could just do it.
Like,
this way.
have you got that lovely neon TCGS sign, but you always have it so you can't even read it?
I just
Like, it's
want.
always
I
like
just
washed
want.
out.
I wanted a very specific bokeh effect, and yeah, I just wanted it blurry in the background.
Scientologist, but
Now
for
I'm only
David,
like
he
F.
wanted it to be illegible.
Yeah, now I'm only like F 4.5, and I wanted like 4. I wanted to.
That looks
I wanted nice
great.
bokeh.
That looks great. Like
Yeah,
that.
but
with the
I wanted the
TCGS.
background blurry.
Okay.
Yeah. See, my vest is just out of shot actually.
Your vest.
Yeah, my running vest for Spartan on the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Wild Pump.
What's Spartan? Is it like a
It's-
mudderthon thing?
It's hardcore tough mudder, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How
So
many
We're
K?
doing a 10k
How
one.
many K? 10K, man. That's hard.
No, that's gonna be nothing. I mean, like, the running bit I can do with my eyes closed because also there's 25 obstacles. So like, what are you gonna run like 500?
Oh, really? It's
meters
only
near another one?
25.
Yeah, 25 obstacles. But sorry,
Oh,
so
okay,
we're doing
so it's
10k
not
one,
so bad
but you can do a thing. Next year we want to do this. The trifecta weekend we do. There's 3 types of races. You can do a 5k sprint, a 10k super, what we're doing, and a half marathon beast. If you do a trifecta, you do the Friday night. You do a Friday half marathon, Saturday 10k on Saturday, and then 5k on Sunday. That's what we want to do next year. So this year we're gonna do one, see what the vibe is, and next year we're gonna do all 3 in one weekend. I think. Can't wait.
Yeah, no, the one we did, the 7K mudderthon thing we did.
Was that Tough Mudder or was that like Warriors? What was it? Was it official
Well, I don't know
Tough
what
Mudder?
you. I think you're just saying different brand names. Our one was called.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I wanted to
How-
know. Yeah.
Yeah, our one was just called Mudderthon
Okay. Right.
because it was. It was 7K. They said it was 5. It wasn't. The people that designed the course said it was actually 7, but that was like constant obstacles. That was like you climbed over a wall and then you moved forward and then you went underneath a net and then you went forward and then you had to climb up a rope out of a fucking river and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, I can't
that
wait
was
for
just
that shit.
that was non-stop. It was horrendous, Matt. It's the closest. Oh, I was fucked by the end of it.
Well psyched. Yeah, so there's
And-
if you can't do an obstacle, we're going to do like 30 burpees as well. I've got trail running shoes, I've got my gloves, I've got
If you
compression
can't- what?
socks.
What's a
I've got
burpee?
trail running shoes, like OCR shoes for like running through mud and stuff.
No, what's a burpee?
Oh, it's it's where like there's like a press up to like a star jump, press up star jump. We've got to do 30 of them if you fuck up a obstacle.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
So I might have to do 25 times 30 burpees.
I felt absolutely fucking dead during that thing. Like I've never hit a wall as hard as I did on that. Like the
climbable.
walk we did like the other week was a piece of piss. Why are we doing it? This is bonus show stuff.
Yeah, this is.
Right, we
I'm
ready
doing
to
that on
Crack on.
doing it on Sunday. So yeah, we'll do a bonus show next week, I guess, and talk about it.
Cool. All right. What you been playing? Ready? Let's get to what you've been playing this week, and I would like to start
Ooh.
by hearing about Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, that's embarrassing, Matt, because it wasn't about
he
me
did
actually.
The flip. He flip reversed it.
There was no flip reverse. I just said I want to start by listening to Cyberpunk 2077
I want to talk
Phantom
about Cocoon.
Liberty. No, I want to hear Cyberpunk. That's
We're
probably
not,
the biggest
we're
release
not
this
going
week.
with the nickname from last week, no.
What's that?
Fanny Libs.
no, we're not.
Okay.
Right, so who's been playing it? Sean, you've put
Me.
Cyberpunk 2077, so I'm assuming you've been playing it. And James,
Yes.
you've been playing it.
I've been playing as well, yeah.
Let's hear what you think of it.
So this is, obviously, in case anyone missed last week, so I'd restarted Cyberpunk last week because the 2.0 patch had dropped, but now we have the actual new DLC with Idris Elba in it. But this is going to be an interesting conversation because, James, you've just gone straight in at the DLC, haven't you? Is that
Yes,
right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So
you play as your character from Cyberpunk?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Right.
Because you get the call and then you go to the location where the whole thing
Okay.
starts, and because I ended off where I was right at the end of the game, because what it does is like there's no when you finish the game, it just takes you back
just
to
before the ending.
yeah. So
Point of no return. So,
yeah, and then I mean the big difference is because I went back to it and then I had the whole thing that Sean said where it's like you can respec everything, and so I did spend a little bit of time before I went into it trying to figure out what kind of character I wanted to be. But yeah, apart from that, it's yeah, pretty much.
So how does it deal with, before we get into what it is and what you think of it, how does it deal with, obviously that I'm assuming you can start the DLC at any point, right?
Yes.
Not
No, if you're
at any
playing.
point.
No.
You have to do a certain amount of the campaign. It's quite good because it steers you, basically, like in your list of all your missions, there'll be one at the top with like Phantom Liberty on it, and it's like, here's the thing you need to do next to get towards the DLC.
Okay,
basically.
But
so how does it handle
can...
the level differences? Because there's going to be people all over the place in terms of their level when they start this DLC.
I honestly don't know. All I know is because I've restarted and then I've accessed the DLC as soon as I can, and I'm fine.
Right.
So I don't know if that means it's like automatically adjusting stuff according to my level, or if it just means that if you've done that much of the story, then you must be strong enough to do it. I don't know.
But you can start Phantom Liberty directly from the from the menu as well. Like
Yeah,
you don't have to.
yeah.
You could just do from scratch. Like you can, and I think then you just generate a new character to then just play that basically. So you can.
Oh wow, okay.
So you can avoid the main game if you want to. I guess. I mean.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't like. I mean, if anyone's listening to this, I would not recommend that if you haven't played them. And obviously, James has already finished the campaign, so he's all right. But the rest of you,
I've got really bad question. I've got really bad question to ask you, Sean, which is it's not good podcasting at all. When I loaded up Cyberpunk 2077, my character was like, the screen was throbbing red and my pad was going
right.
And I was like, how do I stop this from happening? Oh, it's getting on my nerves, and I just turned it off. So what did I need to do?
I
Heal
I don't think I
Were you
needed
not
to
just
heal
hurt?
myself.
Just press up on the D-pad.
Yeah, you probably just need to heal yourself.
No, I pressed up on the D-pad. It didn't change anything.
Oh no, that might just be a bug. Just restart the game. It's fine.
Okay,
That's part of the 2.0 update, isn't it? That's just how it is permanently.
Yeah, it's just constant. It's a new visual effect.
I can't do that thing where the guy walks into the shop and robs the person again. I have to rewind it.
Oh no,
8
you
times.
can pretty much skip that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to like watch it play out once, but then that's it.
Okay.
So
Right.
yeah, the DLC. So well, what I found really strange about this is when you realise where the DLC takes place, it's in a bit of the city that must have always been there.
Just not bother going there.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
know how they managed to hide it.
Yeah.
It's really. It must have just been inaccessible, and it was like, oh right, okay, that's because it's in like it's like a huge I think it's an American football stadium, isn't it? And then the sort of surrounding area. So I guess it was all just walled off, and like you say, and it's in a bit because it's in like the Pacifica area, which you don't really spend much time in, or I didn't anyway. So I was a bit like, oh the fuck, it's here. It was always here. But yeah, basically, story events transpire, and you manage to sneak in.
Well,
and it's
sneak in.
Did you go full Farley?
You see, the problem I had, right, is that I went back to this and I hadn't played it for a long time, and I'd completely forgotten like controls, like how you do everything. And the characters like, oh, you should sneak into the stadium round the bins and everything. So I went round there and I tried to incapacitate somebody. It went wrong. End of the.
I incapacitated them, didn't I? I tried to incapacitate them.
By the time I walked into that stadium, there was about 26 bodies or so, like on the floor, like outside. So it didn't go well. Like the initial, the initial getting in.
Well, they've done a really weird thing because a lot of it is very scripted, isn't it? Certainly the first sort of hour or two.
But it's
is
brilliant.
Scripted missions. It's really good, isn't it? This is what's interesting, right? It's because one of my criticisms of Cyberpunk, as was like I'm more into the open world now that the game works. But a lot like back in the day, I was like, I don't know if this benefits from being open world, and I think if they'd focused on just doing like a series of like large areas, but not necessarily an entirely open world, maybe that would have been better, right? Maybe it would have made it less of a pain in the ass to make, and maybe it would have turned out better. and I don't think it would have lost anything necessarily. And then here's this DLC, which is like, it's still big, but it's a contained area, and it's really dense and rich,
I know.
and there's loads of stuff going on.
And this is the thing. Like I messaged Sean, and I was just like, it is a joke. Like how much more well realised this game is, and like this world is than Starfield. Like if you're comparing them, it's an absolute joke. Like the difference between them. Like the characters are well written, the dialogue doesn't feel stilted, the places that you're walking around feel alive, like properly alive, of like people walking around and stuff. And the opening hour,
the greatest is someone needs to do a supercut between the nightclubs in the two games, because it is insane.
Yeah, it really is.
but
So
it's like,
it feels like that. Yeah, they've taken this approach where it's like, do you know what? It's not as big. It's a bit more scripted, set pieces and stuff, but it really fucking works. And it's a very different flavour to the main game, but I think it's I
mean, the opening hour is just like non-stop, like high stakes, and it's just really thrilling. I mean, I was sitting there playing this and just like with a big fucking smile on my face, because I was like, this is so much fun. Like to engage with all the systems.
What's been amazing as well is like, because you get these new abilities. Because I don't know if you remember, Dave. You know when you have the relic chip in your head that's slowly killing you, and that's why Johnny Silverhand's there and stuff. And it like appeared on your stats screen, but it was like, but it didn't do anything. Everyone's like, oh why is that there? That is now a thing. So in the DLC, that becomes like there's like another skill tree associated with that.
Yeah,
right.
And I said like last week, I was making basically like a ninja character, right? So I'm like stealth, but I'm also dashing around with a katana and slashing people up and having a great time. And then I got the mantis blades, and was like, you're the ones that just pop out your arms and you stab people with them. And I was like, oh, these are fine, but I don't know if they're necessarily better than the katana. And then basically, like all these relic skills all relate to like the built-in arm weapons. So if you get the monowire, it allows you to just like apply hacks to people by just fucking hitting them with it. And in the case of the mantis blades, you get this like Wolverine style like leap, right? So you charge it up, you let go, and like up to like 30 meters away, you just fucking dive at someone and shred the shit out of them. And I've just been having so much fun. Like I've barely used guns since.
I've used a lot of guns, but that's because I enjoy using guns. It's but also like just like sliding
but then
around.
You can get
and,
if you're staying as like a shooty man, you can get the fucking built-in rocket launchers in your wrists, and then you get some mad upgrade where you can target like 4 people at once. And
there's that, and there's also like all the perks and stuff, so you can you can slide along the floor shooting at the same time, and just like then changing direction and stuff. Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. Like I've been shocked by how much I've been enjoying this, and it was like, I mean, I've only played it for about 2 or 3 hours, I think, so far, but it's just been great.
Imagine
really
if it just waited. It's so bad to say, isn't it? But imagine if it just waited. I'm sure there's no financial way it could have done, but my word,
it's interesting, isn't it? Like, is
incredible.
Is there an alternate universe where they just sat on it for another 3 years, and everyone just was like, "Holy fuck!" Is it? Because it is like, like I said, like last week, it's like probably by the end, I'll probably still say it's like an 8 out of 10, because there are still some problems with it. There's still some bugs and stuff, but like, I think the shock of it arriving in this state. Would have been just absolutely mind-blowing.
It's just the fact that like everyone like looks like not real, but you know what I mean? It's like the way that they interact with each other, and all of that. It's not that sort of like somebody staring at you at the camera, just like like speaking. It's just
like when you're in a conversation, you still feel like you're inhabiting your own fucking body, and you can look around and do things. And and it's not always meaningful. In fact, it very rarely is. But it just makes it feel that bit more real. Yeah.
I desperately want to try it, but because I didn't play the main game, I feel like I have to do the main game first. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, it feels like, what's the point in buying the DLC if there's so much of the main game that I haven't played? I mean, so maybe I should crack on with that a little bit.
How much did I spend? How much did I play the main? It's only like, no, that sounds really bad. I was gonna say it's only about 20 hours, but basically don't look at it as like, oh, I am only playing this to give the DLC some context. Like the main game is so much better. Right? Like the main game is amazing now.
So if I started the main game and went to the end and did like a fair amount of side missions, is it like a 50-hour game, 100-hour game, 20?
I think it's entirely up to the player. I think you could probably
mainline it in like 30 hours or so. I think.
Yeah. I'd have
Yeah.
thought so. Yeah. What I found really interesting is that I want to do the side stuff this time, whereas like
That's
finish
always the way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I, back in the day, I finished the campaign, but like as I was driving around, it was like, oh, the police need help. Oh, there's some gang violence. I was just like, yeah, fucking don't give a shit. Whereas now I'm like, fucking dive out the car. It's fucking Mantis Blade time. Like I'm just,
it was
I
the
want
same
to get
with
into fights.
it was the same with Red Dead 2. There's so much with Red Dead 2 that I didn't do. That when I did my second run through, or started my second run through, I was like literally doing everything because there's not part of you going, where's it going? What's happening next? You haven't got, that. So you're more like, I will want to just go and, with a game like that, you just want to, I need to play Cyberpunk again.
You do.
It's really worth it, David. It's so good, honestly. Like, I mean, just going back to this, I'm enjoying it so much. It's just, it's great.
All right, I'll do it then. What about that?
And I just feel like, I was saying last week about how, like, because I haven't got this thing over my head of like, it's not running properly. There's bugs. Like, I'm just like, I'm engaging with like the main story more than I used to.
Yeah,
as well.
it makes a massive difference, doesn't it?
Yeah,
because when you're not being slapped in the face constantly,
yeah,
you can let yourself fall in love with it a little bit.
Yeah,
you're not
100%.
sitting there going, well, what's the next thing that's going to fucking break?
Yeah. Yeah, when's the character going to walk through a table or fucking stuff like that? It's just really good. It is really.
So the
really
story is meant to be about 15 to 20 hours. I've heard.
In the DLC.
Yes, for the DLC about 15.
25 quid's quite a bit, isn't it, for DLC of that length? Do you think? Or
it is very dense though. Like when you see it, you'll see where the money's been spent. Like it's it is gorgeous. Like.
Yeah,
like the way, because so it's this area they're in is called Dogtown, right? And as I say, it's completely sealed off. Initially, sort of as you're approaching it, it's like like the police aren't allowed in. There's like a black market and stuff, and you're like, oh shit, it's like an anarchist place. It's like, no, it's a fucking dictatorship. It's this one like military commando who kind of holed up there after a war and just went like, right, no one's fucking getting in. This is my town now, and he's appears to be awful. I don't know if there's going to be a twist where actually he's not so bad, but so far it just seems like a total prick. I mean, but then obviously there's ambiguity because the whole thing is you're looking after the president, right? The president has crash landed, and and obviously the game's sentiments. V's got feelings about it. Johnny's got feelings about it, but he's not so. Because I know, Dave, you didn't like Johnny Silverhand in the main game, and a lot of people I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a prick, but that doesn't make it any.
Oh yeah,
easier
no,
to
I mean,
sit
there's
through
pricks
his
in
shit
games
sometimes.
or whatever. I just found him really irritating, like the way he spoke and the way he was written.
Yeah.
I was just like, shut up.
Yeah, because basically, because there's a world of difference between when he goes on his rants. Oh, the corporations are fucking sucking our souls out, and it's like I basically agree with you, but also like, yeah, all right, mate, that's just such a surface level analysis of what's going on here, right?
When you've got a character that, and this isn't just Cyberpunk, this happens in lots of media, and maybe it turns it around or whatever. But when you've got a character in a piece of media like that that's trying to sound like they've got these wild ideas, but you're listening to their wild ideas and saying, this is just like base level. This is really normal. Yeah. What are you doing?
GCSE level.
GCSE. I heard this at school, but Matthew said that at school.
But what's cool about the DLC is, so you're working with the president, and she basically seems all right. There's implications that obviously she's the president of America. You don't get to be the president of America without doing some shady shit, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Johnny's issue is that he talks about the fact that he used to be a soldier. He used to be a jarhead, in his words, and he deserted. And it's so rather than it just being him like, no, fuck the system, he's like, no, this is what I lived through and it was fucking awful, and here's what it did to me. So it's a lot more relatable rather than just him being angry. So yeah, I've enjoyed that. And if you're not into that, there's sections where he's just not in it. He sort of gets silenced for a bit. So there's always that as well.
Cool.
But, I mean, in terms of length, it's like, I mean, maybe the main campaign is like 15 to 20, but in the chat, like they're saying, there's tons of side missions to this as well. Like this is not insubstantial.
It's in conversation with the rest of the rest of the city as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's like these car missions where basically this one of the fixes wants you to steal cars, right? Oh yeah, there's cars in Dogtown that I want. So he will, as you're walking around, occasionally you'll see a car and it'll have a little icon on it, and that's like El Capitan wants you to fucking steal that for him. But then you've got to get it out, you've got to drive it out of Dogtown, right? And then elsewhere in the city. So it's not like it's totally separate. You can drive in and out of it seamlessly. It's really
It's
impressive.
also just, I don't know, just being back in that world. Like, I'm walking around just thinking, this place is fucking horrible. You know, but
that sort of bothers me still, because because absolutely that is the point. It's supposed to be horrible and cynical and gross. But also I'm like, but I'm effectively like a caveman walking around looking at this stuff and being like, oh my God, this is like future city. This is kind of cool.
Like the California man.
It's a California man scenario. But it
you know what I mean? It's like you walk
But it
around.
doesn't let you have that. Do you know what I mean? It's always rubbing it in your face. How like the fucking adverts that are everywhere. I mean, there's more of them now, so they don't repeat as often. But they're all just like, I know this is supposed to be gross, but it really is just.
But it's just like walking around, just like this failed society.
But
basically,
what I'm saying is, I think what I'm getting out of this is I was thinking all the way through the week, should I buy the DLC? Shouldn't I buy the DLC? And funnily enough, I'm getting out of it, no, I shouldn't buy the DLC. What I'm getting out of it is I should play Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You should play Cyberpunk, and then when
if I'm loving it,
and
when I'm loving it, then get the DLC.
Yeah.
But for now, just play Cyberpunk and see how I get on with it. You've charmed me. You've charmed me. I have actually got it installed. I just need to work out how to stop my screen flashing red. That's
it's because how far in were you? Do you remember?
I told you. I got the little spider bot thing, and then did the heist. In the hotel. Where you're sitting, that was brilliant. When you're sitting in the lobby beforehand and you're just chatting, that's the stuff that was great, because I loved that bit, because I was like, this is such a just an average mission, you know, and it was, you know, you go up, you shoot some people, you hack into, you know, it's all the stuff we've done in games before, but just sitting in that lobby knowing you're lying. Do you know what I mean? And that you're putting it on acts, like, and you're in these suits and you're not usually. I was just like, the dressing is what makes this cool. But yeah, I got that far soon after that, and then Johnny Silverhands sort of had a go at me about that, and I was like, oh fuck you.
Yeah, he does that.
And then I just stopped.
But the recommendation to start again, you're not going to take that up. You're just going to carry on.
Hell no. Absolutely not. I'm not playing through that. I remember I played the opening twice anyway, because I think I started again when. Do you remember when it sort of got better? I started it again then, and then okay, fine. I will play some Cyberpunk.
I mean, Matt, are you not tempted? Because I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm
you'd
massively
love this.
tempted. It's just trying to find the time. I mean, obviously we're playing Cocoon now. We've got Spider-Man and Mario Wonder. Was it like back end of the month?
20th, isn't it?
See, I've still got Baldur's Gate as well. Because I bought that now, and I need to play it.
Final Fantasy 16 as well.
Nah, you're not playing that. It's fine.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I really, really want to, because having not probably played it, I know this seems right up my street, but it's just it's a big old commitment, isn't it? And I want to get it done. Or I don't know. I can't start another game and not finish it. Basically, if I haven't done loads of that this year, but I do want to play it.
Let's get to Cocoon, which is the other release that all four of us have been playing actually. And before we open the floor, I would like to say, well, firstly, I'd like to say it's an indie puzzle game which has a gimmick in which each level, if you want to call that, or each part of the world is contained within an orb, and you can, in certain areas, jump in and out of that orb, and you can bring orbs into other orbs, and so you're essentially putting levels in other levels and jumping inside levels. It's a bit Inception with which level am I in? How can I rearrange these levels so that they work alongside each other? And how do I take them all with me to the next part of the game? That's a real base level stuff. And I will open by saying I fucking hate this game. Like, I really hate this game.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because
oh man, I'm so surprised. I thought
I'll tell you why. Can I just tell you why out front? Because I know that I know that loads of people have seen this game and thought, well, here's TCGS's game of the year for 2023, and I look at them and go, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right, and that makes me sick. And I know that come Game of the Year show, James is going to go, oh, I'm not going to vote for it because it's too obvious, David. And we're going to have that whole argument again because it's so, oh my God, it's one of those games where you're 10 minutes into it and going, oh no, they've nailed everything. And this is ridiculous. Like, the style, the sound, visually, it's interesting. The ideas that it initially lays out to you, and you instantly go, you're going to take this to some really interesting places, aren't you? And you'd be absolutely right. You'd be absolutely... It's mad, this game. Right, okay.
But how much have we all played? Because I hear
that was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have just unlocked the 4th orb, the purple orb, I think. Matt?
I thought that's the third one.
I'm right. Yeah, no, it's the 4th. It's definitely the 4th. The
Really?
third one's third one's the white one with the. I don't want to give away the
I
gimmick.
don't think it was for me, but
It 100% was, because it's not a different game for different people.
no, but it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've only got 2 orbs.
James?
No, because I'm trying to remember if I've got like fake memory or not. But
Okay, right.
yeah.
Okay, so the first one's orange.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's green.
Second
That's
second
green.
one's green.
Yeah.
Then it's white. Then it's purple.
Okay.
Okay, what you on?
I don't know.
Sean?
I thought. Never mind.
What are you on, Sean?
So I've just done the second boss.
Chris is saying white is the 4th. Something's weird then, because it's maybe I'm thinking the 5th orange,
Yeah, see,
green.
look. Orange, green, purple, white. That's what I said. I don't know about
So
white,
then-
but
I've done. Maybe I'm on the 5th one then. Maybe I'm on the 5th one. Oh, I can't remember. I need to check it out. But
You-
right,
you're gonna
so how far
apologise,
are you into
David?
it, Sean? I will apologise to it if I've got it wrong. If I've got that wrong, I've missed one of them.
Are you
Go on,
calling
what were you
Chris Brown
saying?
a liar?
are you calling me
No,
a liar?
That's the
And
opposite.
James
That's the
Farley.
opposite of what I was doing. God, how far into it are you, Sean?
So I've just done the second boss.
Oh God, we'll get to the bosses in a bit.
We
But Matt,
Yeah, so I've got 2 orbs. I'll probably play for like an hour and a bit.
okay. I think if there's one slight criticism I can aim to it, it's that the pacing is misjudged. I think I honestly think I genuinely think that the game has the pacing right on paper in terms of puzzle, boss, new mechanic, puzzle, boss, new mechanic. Like, on paper, that's fine. But because the puzzles get more complicated, you're spending way more time. Like, there are times where I'm like,
Right.
I haven't seen a boss in an age. What's going on? But that's the sort of structure of the game, right? There's loads of different environmental puzzles that get more and more complicated as you go along, and they're split up by these interesting boss fights, which aren't really boss fights. They're always you're sort of avoiding attacks, but also using a certain gimmick within that boss fight to attack the boss with. Each and every one of them's been incredible that I've come across. Like, the gimmick is absolutely mind-blowing, and what it asks you to do, it's not frustrating, it's not too hard, but it's just cool. Like, I wish there was more boss battles in this, because in fact I wish there was more battles in it, because each one that they've done has been absolutely brilliant, stunning to look at, interesting ideas, and really fun to do. But boss 3
I could do
is incredible, Sean. You'll love that.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
do without, like, because so each boss you have to hit like 4 times or whatever. Or maybe that varies. I don't know. It's a bit frustrating getting to like the 3rd hit, and then the boss does something new and takes you out, and you're starting again. I don't know what the answer is to that, because I think it would be be too cheap if you could just jump back in and be like, "Oh, now I've done it."
Yeah, and like,
Do you know
they're
what I mean?
pretty quick,
Yeah.
generally.
You mean the way it's like one hit and then you're done?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like you say, they're not boss fights. They're puzzles where you are dodging. There's movement and timing involved in solving it, right? So yeah, very good. I think what's really impressed me is, like, because there'll be people listening to this and being like, "Oh, what? So there's worlds inside of worlds, and picking them up and moving them around, that sounds really complicated, and like I'm sure it will get there. In fact, I mean, it already is a bit, but it eases you in so well. In that, like, what you are doing is complicated, but the moving parts available to you at any one time are like, right, everything I can see and touch and move here is relevant. It's not like there's stuff lying around that's like, oh, well, I could put this here or do this or grab this. Like, and it's not necessarily the answer. Like, pretty much, like, it's felt really intuitive. Like, your options are limited enough that you're not overly confused, but you're also like, you feel like you're figuring it out.
That you see, one of the things that I really liked about this was that I got to a point where I was like, I have no idea like where I can go here. There's nothing I can do with this, and then I suddenly, but then I suddenly realised I was just like, oh, I can just go back to one of the other worlds, and I've got this now, and then I can probably get further in there, and then that's exactly what I did, and it
does an amazing job of stopping you from, like, when you do get stuck. You're stuck within a very limited area, rather than
not a lot of routes to go around to check.
Which is such an incredible thing to do, considering at some point you're carrying 4 levels. You're carrying 4 levels around with you, and you're in a level. So to be able to dictate this is where you should be focusing your time, it's really fucking impressive.
Well,
like,
it does,
the amount of work that must have gone into that.
It does a brilliant job of like communicating you that that something is like that this area is possible for you actually, and that that you just need to think about it, and you can get through it. It's it doesn't feel like, as you said, it doesn't feel like you're going off in any direction and just getting like lost. It's like if you're there for a reason. You can do it. It's just trying to figure it out. It's it's very good at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty, like, I'm really excited, Sean and Matt, for you to, like, for what's coming up, because there have been so many times that I thought, I don't know, this is too complicated for me, and then I work it out and I go, holy shit. Like, and the solution, when there's times where you go, is this it? And then it works, and you go, oh my god, like, it's got that.
Those are the best puzzle games, aren't they? The ones where it makes
really.
you feel like you've worked out yourself, or is this even the right way? And there is a solution. That they're the ones that kind of silently guide you, cleverly guide you without even realizing that they're the great ones. And I think the fact that you have limited options means that you're never too far away from a solution. Or you think, I don't have to overthink it, because there really are only these like 3 or 4 routes and possibles.
I will say that if there is a story or a narrative around what you're doing, because you play, is it a moth?
Little baby fly man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd say it's a moth or something. Yeah, got little wings.
Bob Flyman.
Not really sure. It reminds me a lot of Limbo and Inside in
It's
that.
the same producer, isn't it?
I was going to say,
Is it really?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, really? Okay, then I'm getting those vibes. Like, there might be some symbolism here that I can't quite piece together, but don't go into thinking this is a narrative game.
Because by the second boss, I was like, hang on a minute. Like, all these when these bosses get me, all they do is grab me and throw me out.
Right.
Like, am I the baddie? Because I'm definitely killing them, whereas they're just going like, just fuck off.
No, because I've got a theory that it might be about evolution and finding your way in the world before you're ready to be released. But I don't know if that's going to work until I see the final scene.
Yeah.
But it's really creepy in places. Like, some of the imagery and some of the not scary. Like, I would never say it was scary, but there's some imagery there that you just go, oh, this is really haunting. Like, seeing something like watch over you and that.
It's also like how fleshy loads of things look as well. Like,
it's breathing and shiny in certain areas and stuff.
It looks great. Yeah.
It really
Just for anyone corrects us, so the studio is founded by Limbo and Inside's lead gameplay designer, Jeppe Carlsen, and audio designer on Inside. So it's not the producer, but still, previous Inside and Limbo developers started the studio, and it feels very much like that.
I don't know if you've noticed as well, it does this really, really cool thing that I only just recently picked up on, where if you're in an environment and you're walking around and you're trying stuff out, because a little bit later you are kind of walking around with different orbs and trying them in different places and seeing if this works and how does that affect that. when you're doing something right, the audio changes. So if I think what it does, it detects where if you're walking, say, down a little hallway bit, but you've got all of the orbs set up correctly in your hands, then, and what I mean by that is that it's so hard to explain on a podcast, but what I mean by that is you've taken one orb into that level, you've placed it in a certain place, then you've gone into that orb and placed something in a certain place, then you've gone right the way back out again. You pick up that orb with everything. You walk down that tunnel. If you've done it right, there'll be a little change in the soundtrack, and it is incredible when that happens, because not only is it the game sort of going, hey, you're sort of right here, you're on the right track, but it is also, just all it's doing is that feeling of going, I'm getting this puzzle right, and it's quite complicated. It lifts that. It's like a soundtrack to that feeling. And man, wow! If you are into puzzle games, and if you are, even if you're not really into sort of straight up puzzle games, give this a go, because it's so impressive on so many levels. They've nailed so much in this that I'm kind of blown away. I cannot wait to finish it. I cannot wait to see how complicated it gets towards the end.
Yeah,
I love the flex.
What a memorable experience.
The flex of so obviously you start the game, your character is born in front of you, and you going around doing puzzles and stuff, and like I was like, oh, I bet it's like, it's going to let me assume that this is like the overworld, and then
right.
Like the last minute it's going to go, well, actually you were in one of the orbs and there's a world above that. First 10 minutes.
It is absolutely none of that. Yeah, it's
great.
it's so unpredictable with that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's incredible when you've been working on a puzzle for a while, when you go into one of the orbs and you go, and it's not a solution to the puzzle, but you're like, oh yeah, I remember being here. There's also some really cool stuff that it does that I'm not going to spoil. We'll obviously talk about it at some point, but it's not as simple as you're in an orb and that is in another orb, which is another level. And then it starts fucking around with those concepts, and you go, wow, okay, this is ridiculous. There's so much I want to talk about, but I really don't want to spoil it. It's too early. The game's just come out. It's on Game Pass, so if you've got Game Pass,
game as well, isn't it? It's maybe like 5-6 hours, which is perfect length.
Fine, yeah.
Probably. I don't know how long I've played it for, but it feels like a while.
Yeah, because I've only had a couple of sessions, and I remember like you pause it, and it tells you like your percentage completion. Mine's already like 30 or something. I was like, oh.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know it did percentage completion. But then again, I think that might be again, this is what I'm saying about the pacing of the game. Like, it feels that maybe if you knew all the solutions to the puzzles, it's a really well-paced game. But if you don't, some of the more complicated complicated puzzles sort of elongates part of the latter part of the game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there are also, there's like other parts as well that you can like unlock as well. Like, it's there are other.
I've only found one of those.
I found 2 or 3, I think. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, through.
I'd like to know what they do, and I'd like to know where they are. But what a special little game!
Yeah, and it kind of came out. For me, it came out of nowhere. I was not expecting this at all. But
we've seen it. A few,
Sean and I have been talking about it for about a year.
We don't talk over seeing this game.
Yeah, but you don't listen to us.
That's the thing, It's
So what
James,
made you play it then?
Dave, now you know how I feel, mate. Like,
I played it because Sean posted in the group about it, like all the amazing reviews it was getting, and I was just like, well, it's on Game Pass, so I'm going to play this.
So that's so when you saw that, you were like, oh, it's the first I've heard of this.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know what this was.
It's come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We need to go and find the clips of the 2 or 3, because we've seen it in like 2 or 3 talks, like we've done talks
Xbox shows, and James
like,
Xbox
shows and
PlayStation
shows and stuff.
I probably did say that at some point.
Never forget seeing this now.
Yeah, this is such a memorable trailer.
It's probably one of those games where I said it's another one of these. It's probably
no, because it doesn't look. Instantly, it grabs your attention, right? Visually, you're like, oh, this looks different. And then when you see the gimmick, the first time you see the character jump into the screen and the world around you like turn into a ball, that's like the first time you go, oh wow, okay, It's got me.
Well,
Well,
because
clearly
it's an
not, James.
Annapurna game, James, you probably just spent the time saying, well, I don't make bad games.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Forgot the game itself. Just quick, get the gag out.
Yeah.
12 minutes.
So you all playing it on Xbox, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, no, because I didn't realise it was on Game Pass, and I pre-ordered it on the Steam Deck, and I thought I'll just keep that pre-order, I think, because it will be a really nice one to play on the bog.
See, again, that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to pay 20 quid for it on Switch.
Yeah, I mean, so sorry, you didn't pay for it on Switch, but it is on Switch, right?
It's on Switch, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do wish I had more time with it, and if it's handheld, I would have had more time with it. But,
Yeah, Backbone lid. Yeah, Backbone.
I've got to raise a Kishi. I just couldn't be bothered to.
They're
This
just
is my
hassle
point
to-
with the Portal.
That's the thing.
This
They're
is
just
my
hassle
point
to
with the
use, isn't it?
Portal.
Yeah.
James Farley's pre-ordered a Portal as
I
well,
have, yeah.
listeners. He did it this week.
If anyone wants to buy a Backbone, get in touch. That's what I'm saying.
That sounds like a threat. Well, not a threat, you know what I mean? Like, I'll buy you a fucking backbone, mate.
Yeah, he's a doctor. He's got all sorts of body parts in his in his cupboard.
When's Portal out? Because I also pre-ordered it just in case.
No, you didn't, did you?
I did, but I don't. I've
Just in
99%
case
chance
of
I'm not
what?
going to bother.
I don't know.
I don't think they're
You
gonna
know
sell
what he's
out that.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
wasn't
gonna
sure.
be
Yeah.
fine.
Well, when did they come out? Because I need to cancel it before they start charging me.
November, is it November 10th or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's
or-
November the 10th
November,
or
okay.
something like that. It's not for a while.
Yeah, I just did it just because I got excited, but I don't think I'm going to buy it.
I just said to Chen, I just said I just bought myself a birthday present. You don't have to worry about it this year. And I did that.
Is that how you do
What's-
birthdays in your house?
Pretty much,
Is
yeah. It's, yeah.
Okay, and then everyone turns around and goes, "Dad, is it your birthday too? Oh, that's weird." As a little reference to an older show, Cocoon, definitely play it. Like it's probably gonna be somewhere on our Game of the Year list. I'm worried it's gonna win. That's gonna cause a problem for James because he doesn't like it when good games win.
No, I just don't like it when we keep doing the same game over and over again. But this is not the same game.
We've
so
never
it's
done
fine.
the same game. They've always been different games.
Yeah, it's different every year, James.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been different every year.
sure.
That's kind of one
No,
of the
go on.
rules, isn't it?
Which ones are the same games? That have
I'm
won
not
our
saying
Game
they're the
of the
same games. I'm saying that there's a similar aesthetic to
Okay,
two
well-
of the ones that we've chosen.
Year?
Like
Go on,
what?
which ones?
I'm not getting into this
Trackmania.
now.
Trackmania.
Yeah,
and
Trackmania
Death
was
and-
definitely yeah.
And Death's Door.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Okay. Breath of the Wild and
well
the
thought.
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
Not getting baited into this at the moment, Sean.
Well,
It's-
no, I'd love for you to
Yeah,
give me
we're
an
not
answer.
baiting you. You've made
You
a
are.
point. We're
Asking you
asking
for
you to
an
back it up.
explanation.
All I'm saying is that we had top-down games. I can't.
Top-down
I can't look.
Top games
I need
at
to
all.
think. Look, I need some time to think about this so I can
What
articulate
have
it
you just done
properly.
with your microphone? It sounds like you're shouting in my ear.
Yeah, he's
Down
really
games.
got went loud out of nowhere.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Right, okay, no top-down games. Can the episode title be
Has to be
top-down
top-down
games?
games. Top-down
Yeah.
games.
So we've had so yeah, we need to. We can't have more than one Gotti winner. It's
Okay,
the
they're
same-
not. No, they're not the
camera
same.
perspective.
Obviously, they're not the same kind of games, but they're both they're both top-down indie games. Is what I was saying.
What
That look
both
like
are?
they look like obviously the game we were going to choose for Game of the Year because we always choose indie games for Game of the Year. There you go.
Well, of course, and we
Astrobot?
always choose
Yeah, we-
AAA games as well.
Yeah.
So what do you want? We always choose all sorts of games.
No,
So you're saying no more indie games? in
No,
Game
no,
of the
I'm fine with
James
whatever you
Farley
want
is
to
saying no
choose.
more
I
indie
don't
games.
care.
No more games that are fully independent. Only ones owned by huge.
I only
organisations.
want AAA games to be Game of the Year because they're the only ones that
right.
deserve it. Frankly,
Okay, well,
Okay.
It has to have had at
Kingdom,
least
congratulations.
200 million
Another
spent on the market.
another game I've
exactly.
been
Yeah.
playing. Another game I've been playing this week. Matt, I'm surprised you're not all over this.
Well,
Coffee golf.
So as I was making the thumbnail before this episode, I'm like, Coffee Golf, what's that? And I instantly downloaded it after seeing
Right. Okay.
what it was.
Coffee golf is a mobile game, and it also is a daily mobile game, which is a complete pain for me at the moment. I don't know if you guys are still doing it, but I am still playing Wordle.
No way.
Wow.
Yep.
I dropped off
Remember
that
that?
like was it
Wow.
Christmas last year? Whenever everyone else. No, I'm done.
No, I play games because I like them, Matt, and not
Every
because
single-
the
oh, no,
social
no.
scene
I
is
couldn't do it every
just
single day.
dictating. Wordle, I'm still playing every day. Waffle, I'm still playing every day. You ever play Waffle?
No, what's that?
there's like a grid of letters, and you rearrange the letters to make words. And if you do it in a certain amount of swaps, you win. And I feel good in the morning when it happens. I should stop playing it because if I lose both of my streaks on the same day, I'm fuming. It really sets me up badly. So on top of that, I've added Coffee Golf, which is a mobile game. It's a isometric game, James. I'm so sorry. Golf
not
game
for Game of the Year.
where you drag
just
back.
come on. This is not fair. I'm just talking. Look, I was obviously talking rubbish, and it's like, oh,
Calm down.
Fucking hell, that's the first time he's admitted that.
Yes,
That's
this is a
wild.
personal breakthrough. This.
Can someone clip that, please? Every time he says something, I can play it on my phone, like the horn, the air horn. I was just talking rubbish. So Coffee Golf, you're on an island, and it's an isometric. You know, it's a drag back golf game. You know, we've all played them before. You drag back. You've got a choice of 3 clubs: a putter, a wood, and a chip, an iron. That's the one.
Chip. You've got iron, wood, and chip.
chip. I'm not a golf guy. And you are on an island with 5 holes, and you can get the ball in the hole in any order that you want, and it gives you an overall score. So it is like a tiny round of golf that takes you no longer than 3 minutes to complete, and it gives you a nice little sort of results screen at the end of it. Matt, I want you to be my friend on Coffee Golf so we can play it every morning.
Yes, I fucking love a golf game. And when I saw the visuals, I'm all over this. I downloaded it. I haven't signed up yet, but yeah, definitely.
I've just downloaded it, and I've sent you my invite to be my friend, Dave.
Excellent. We are absolutely playing this. It is so much fun.
no, nobody wants me to join in. Fuck you, lot of you.
Well, I sent it to the group.
Fuck you, lot of you.
Yeah,
I'm just
That'd be the
assuming.
episode title.
It's a
I'm assuming
top-down
you wouldn't.
drag-back game.
Yeah,
James.
it's a top-down game, James. There's no way you're gonna like it.
Not
I'm
another
surprised you
one.
didn't download it.
Isn't Hades?
Don't
basically
you
the
like
same game.
Civilization? It's checked out.
Come on,
Yeah,
come on, with this.
I mean, I would love to play 4-player Coffee Golf every day. Honestly, I will keep playing this forever. It's perfect. Do you know what I mean? I liked Desert Golf. But
yes. Oh, I fucking love Desert Golf, yeah.
This has way more potential than Desert Golf.
Ooh,
I can
mama.
see me doing this once a day for the rest of my life, along with Wordle and Waffle. Is this what happens? You just get to that age. You get to like middle age and you're like, right, well, this is it now. This is
Well, I
it for
guess
the rest
These
of my life.
are my games now.
Instead of you
daily
doing daily
game.
Sudoku or daily crossword, it's, daily waffle.
Coffee Golf is out on both Android and honestly play it, but don't ask me to be your friend on there because I just want a friendly game between my friends. I don't want someone who's like getting holes in one every single chance. I hate it when that happens. Do you remember when we did Trackmania? We were like having that little battle saying, hey, we did this course and it's getting better, and then someone would go, I halved your time. Like, oh, well, you've just killed it for me then, haven't you? Leave me alone.
Well, this is why it's what we always said. This is why I really like the TCGS group on Forza Horizon 5 because it's still like a big league table of people to compete against, but no one's like obsessive, right? So it's not like the worldwide leaderboards where you're just like, well, what's the fucking point? Because there's just loads of people who it's their entire life, whereas having a large but limited group of people to compete against is fine.
Yeah, it's like Ian Lee was doing a stream of Call of Duty Cold War the other night, and he was just playing with like listeners or whatever, and he was saying, do you know what? I really hope someone just doesn't come in and they're brilliant at the game because it's just absolutely they get like 25 kills and everyone else is on like 3. It's just like, I just want to play with people that are sort of on my level a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember a couple of years ago when we did that stream with Ian playing Rainbow Six?
I did.
That was brilliant, wasn't
Rainbow Six Vegas. It was the best thing ever.
Good.
We need to make that a yearly thing, really.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So that was Coffee Golf. Definitely play that. Sean, have you got any other games for us?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that I last week streamed a bit of ZORK Grand Inquisitor. And I had a really nice time, and I'm going to carry on doing it this Thursday. It's just a game. I remember it was one of the ones we got when we first got a PC. my dad, who doesn't really play games, decided that because we got a PC, he's like, oh, but it's not all action games. I can get some thoughtful, slow-paced things as well. So we got like Myst, and I think that's why we ended up with Monkey Island. Oh, sorry?
Edutainment? Would you?
No, I wouldn't go that far. Thankfully,
No.
Didn't have Encarta or anything like that.
Damn it.
And he got ZORK, Grand Inquisitor, and I remember like thinking it was funny and like beautiful to look at the time. It's aged like visually aged really badly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's from, is it 98? I think this came out. But yeah, it's still pretty funny. There's some stuff that doesn't, like, some of the jokes don't really land. And maybe they never did. Maybe it's just because time has passed. I don't know. But there's like several genuinely famous people, like Michael McKean's like he's a wizard who's been like imprisoned in this lamp that you carry around. So he's like basically your narrator and your mate throughout. He's unsurprisingly great in it. Yeah, it was just really nice to be like, hey, do you know what? Let's revisit this on a stream. It may or may not work. Probably won't come back to it, and then end the stream being like, this was fucking great. It was a really nice game to play on stream, and yeah, and I'm like really looking forward to doing the rest of it.
I need to watch this stream.
It was really nice.
I'm loving
and it's
this.
obviously I'm like some of the puzzles I'm not doing them because I'm just like, no, fuck this, because it's from that era where they were like, well, let's just make bits of it really obtuse, and
yeah, you've got obtuse or really time consuming.
Yeah,
like that was the two things they went for to sort of pad out a game. It's nuts, isn't
exactly. And there's a few bits where it sort of became clear that I was supposed to be making notes, and then it's like, well, I'd have to go back, like spend about 10 minutes going to a previous bit just to check something and then write it down. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look up an FAQ. But then there were some bits where I was like, no, I can do this. I'm not looking it up. I can actually figure this out, and they've been really fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
I did wonder about this because I did load up your stream on YouTube and then fast forward it to a bit, and you had like free spinning things, and you were trying to create a picture. I think it was a tree or something. Yeah. And I was just like, what the fuck is Sean playing here? This looks dreadful.
It's funny, like this. Like they should totally like remake this, right? Because you can tell like they're
not gonna.
No, they never will. Well, partly because it's owned by fucking Activision. Can you imagine?
Right. Like Phil Spencer's gonna walk out wearing a Zork T-shirt at Summer Game Fest next year.
It's gonna be that and Tenchu, That's what it was.
But like you can tell that basically the idea is
remaking Myst.
Mate, Myst has been remade about 3 or 4 fucking times at this point.
Yeah. God, sorry.
Yeah, it's just you can tell like the ideas they had for the environments and stuff just outstripped like what was possible at the time. So it's basically they're just like panoramic images, right? That you just sort of panning around with the mouse, and they don't look great. But one thing that was really weird. So I bought this on GOG.com, Good Old Games, because they have a lot of like older PC games that like you can get on Steam, but they don't run on modern hardware for various reasons. Whereas GOG generally do the work to like they either patch it or there'll be some sort of workaround or something included with the game to make sure it works. ZORK Grand Inquisitor, you load it up and it's like, hello, it's working in Scum VM, the emulator, like that's packaged as part of the download. And I was like, I don't know why I'm so surprised by that, but that felt weird. But yeah,
cool,
really nice time.
Nice
all
one.
right, James, you've got a couple of games left on your list before we get to questions.
Yeah, I've got one other, which was Sonic Frontiers, which I went back to, and I'll admit the reason I went back to this is because I was sneakily thinking, I know, maybe this could be my wild card choice for Game of the Year. I can stick this down as the thing.
Come out last year, didn't it?
Was that this year game?
No, it was this year. I'm sure it came out this year.
No, we nominated it last year. It was my wild card last year.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, fuck.
Well, never mind.
What a waste of your time.
Wasted even more of my time.
Not only that,
Yeah, just go out in
I
November
see you
last year.
slagging it off on Twitter.
Yeah.
You for whatever reason, were playing the Switch version.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because
Why? You've got it on PS5.
because I can't use the TV all the time because the kids and everything are using them. It's
Right,
like
but
it's
you
gonna get a
know
portal,
that the
mate.
Switch version of this game is shocking. Like when the
No,
reviews
it's-
come
this-
out, it
this
says
is
don't
not-
go near the Switch version.
This is not because of the fact that it was the Switch version, but it's. I mean, I went back to it. No, it's
It
not, David.
was.
Look, fuck off. You have not played the whole of this game, and you have no idea. You've only played
that was
like up
aggressive,
to like this.
wasn't it?
I know because it's just really irritating the way that like whatever I say, you just discount as being like, oh, you just bought the Switch version. It's not for that reason at all.
Right,
It's
okay,
because
alright.
the later islands in the game are not fun at all. It's got the platforming gets progressively worse. It's got terrible mini games that some of them you can't like. You know what?
Why do you play Sonic games all the time?
Because I've tried to explain this before. I'm still trying to recreate that feeling I had when I was 10 years old. That's why. And it
So
never.
for James.
But you're not going to because you're 50.
I'm
Like,
not 50.
it's not
And you're playing on a
you're heading
Switch.
towards it.
I'm not 50. It's not.
Genuinely, James, play Solar Ash because it is a very similar
won't.
sort of thing.
Yeah,
He won't.
It's on
Is
Game
Sonic
Pass,
in it?
and it's
Is Sonic in
Sonic's
it,
not
Sean?
in it,
Well,
but
then
you
no.
do go fast.
Is Amy Rose in it?
No,
Forget it.
James, genuinely, mate, play Balan Wonderland or whatever it's called.
On the world, yeah.
Play that one.
no. Just if you're after something like this, where you're running and jumping and going fast, Solar Ash is really fucking good.
You see, the reason I felt. And I will do that, Sean.
No, he's not. He's never gonna do that. That's fine. Go on.
Why want to not do that?
Okay, I just, it's
really
not
dick.
Well, because we've all got loads of massive games to get through, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I would understand if you didn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah, go on, James.
But no, the reason I feel not aggrieved about this, but I just feel when this first came out, it got quite a lot of like positive buzz. Really, I felt like there was quite a lot of feeling that like, oh yeah, this is the one. This is the the three that they've done it. They finally managed to make a 3D Sonic game, which is not amazing, but it's still serviceable and like
Yeah.
like reasonably good. I think if you play this through to the end, I think you wouldn't have that opinion anymore because it gets progressively worse, as I said.
I
James
can
Farley
see
accusing professional reviewers of not finishing the game.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But yeah.
You don't need to.
I will say that the bosses were fucking almost unplayable. Like, there
Yeah,
was
that gets-
some of them.
Really.
And that gets worse. Like
Yeah.
as it goes on, that gets significantly worse. And you see, and I'm not sure this is any better than any other 3D Sonic game that's come out ever.
Whoa, come
Really?
on,
Whoa,
mate.
whoa.
You're
Yeah.
having a laugh in you.
No, I'm
It
seriously.
is.
I'm not. No, I'm not sure it is, David. Honestly,
You're
It
a cow,
is.
man.
it's not. I've played the whole thing, and it gets worse. Seriously,
Okay,
like that.
sure,
Those
but-
that first island that you're on is really the high point, and it just goes down from there. Like seriously.
So I did the first 3 islands,
Yeah.
and
the
that
third island's awful. It's
they're better than
awful.
anything that's been in any of the other Sonic 3D games.
How many of those games have you
100%.
played, David?
Adventure 1 and 2. I played. I have.
I know, but exactly. But
What-
how long
what do
ago
you mean?
did you play those games?
Well, a while ago, for a fair few years ago.
Exactly,
Wait,
but
so-
that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I'll go
like,
back and play them then, should I?
yeah, go back and you'll see there's not the difference between them is not as big as I was led to believe. You know, when this first came out, as it being like a big sort of step up from other 3D Sonic games that have come out. I don't think it is.
I can't talk to you about Sonic. You're strange about Sonic. You'll admit that yourself, though, right?
Yeah, I'll admit that. Yeah, it's true.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you going to get the new Sonic game? That's
I mean, that's the
coming
thing.
out
I mean,
this
I've
month?
written down here. I'll still
course
be
you
back for another one. Like, it's
Yeah, you're
definitely, this is definitely
you're
what's
going to
gonna
get the new
happen.
Sonic game that's coming out this month. You've
No,
got
I'm
to
gonna-
stop playing Sonic.
I'm going to get Mario anyway this month. I'm not getting
Right,
Sonic.
but you
And
will
Spider-Man.
buy Sonic.
Oh, eventually I
You will
will.
buy
Yeah,
Sonic.
when it's discounted. But
Christmas.
yeah. I mean, I'm not.
I just want to say to everyone at home, James becomes so incensed about all this that I've had to turn his volume down.
It's just a miracle he's not like 60 foot away from the mic. That's the reason.
James,
I'm just going to give this up. This is just.
No,
fucking hell.
James,
What?
James, stop playing Sonic. Stop playing Sonic
I
games.
did stop it, and actually, because the DLC
haven't
for this
He
came
can
out.
stop whenever he wants, Dave.
Yeah.
I can. And the DLC for this came out. I downloaded it, started it, and then thought, I'm not playing this. And then I stopped playing it.
Right.
And then I stopped playing it, and I've
Is this
deleted it.
Is this paid DLC or is
No,
it?
it's free. It was
Okay.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
it's the
free.
last one, isn't it? Yeah.
Stop playing Sonic games altogether. Stop buying them. When was the last good Sonic game? Sonic Mania, right?
Yeah, Sonic Mania was the last good one.
Right, and then
Yeah.
before then,
Probably Sonic and Knuckles.
I mean that's a big
20
old
years.
time,
Was it an
isn't it?
isometric one on a DS or something, or GBA?
Yeah, but he
Quite
doesn't like isometric,
Yeah,
isometric
go
games.
with it.
No, can't, no.
There was the on the DS. Was there an isometric one on the DS?
I'm sure there's like an isometric Sonic game on DS or.
Well, there's 3D Blast and
GBA.
all those games that came out. Yeah, they were just remakes of 3D Blast.
I quite liked was 3D Blast the one where I quite liked that one actually.
That was
I had
Traveller's
on
Tales, I think, made that. It was, you know.
Yeah, okay, I was probably wrong. when I
James,
was,
you see a lot of like, old charity streams, sponsor this. Could we sponsor you to not play Sonic for an entire year? Do you think that would be possible?
Is 3D Blast shit, James?
I don't think it was very good.
I fucking loved it. I loved it. I played it on PC. I fucking loved that shit. I bet it was terrible though. I'm not defending it. I'm sure it was terrible, but
Yeah, I reckon James could go 12 months without playing Sonic.
Probably
No,
not. I
of
mean,
course he can't.
I usually go back to it at some point. It's just, you know.
You're sick, James.
I'd say it's a comfort game, but it's not because I hate playing them.
You
So
hate
it's like,
every single one you
Discomfort
play.
game.
You've got a problem.
Unbelievable. You bought that one twice as well. It's
Yeah,
mental.
it's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Questions. Oh, that's what we've been playing this
How long
week.
have we been going
Questions.
for? Yeah, we can
sure.
do some questions, can't we? Transters says, quick rapid fire question off the top of your head. What is the best radio album? My opinion. Ooh, tough one. I think I'd have to say the best of Radiohead.
Great
I don't know,
choice.
is there a best of? I don't think there is.
Which
I'm
one
sure
do I
it went
like
loud.
the
It's in
most?
rainbows for me.
It is in rainbows, and some people roll their eyes and go, "Yeah, it's the most accessible one." Yeah, good. It's got the best tunes.
That's the thing. You see, I wouldn't say the one that is my favourite. I wouldn't say is probably the best, but it's the one I like the most, which is Kid A. I love that album.
Kid A is
Today's
awesome. Yeah.
astonishing. Yeah. Like even now.
I can't remember. I think mine might be the Benz.
He's a rocker boy, isn't he?
Also,
Yeah.
I mean, they're all.
Didn't like it when they put the drum machine in. It's still...
No, I like real play.
No, the Benz is
people
really
playing
good.
jobs.
Loads of great stuff. In the Benz.
But I'm not a massive Radiohead fan, I must admit. There's
not?
like no, Radiohead's like one of the ones. Like, what was the one they released? A Moon-Shaped Pool. I listened to that and I was like,
Yeah.
fucking really love this. This is really good. And then like you listen to it like 6 months later and go, okay.
A lot of
like,
a lot of that.
It's weird.
Quite hard
I
work.
think you need to be just in the mood for Radiohead, otherwise you
Yeah.
listen to them and you go,
100%.
Yeah.
okay.
I really love that kind of museum thing they did on. That was PS5, isn't it? The Radiohead.
Yeah, PS5.
Yeah, man,
game.
that was so good. I played
I
on
really love that.
PC. Yeah, really good.
All right. There you go.
Maria
Rainbows,
Mendieta
baby.
says, "Dear TCGS, continue. ... Question mark. Kingdom Hearts and Clockwork Knight 1 and 2 for the Sega Saturn use keys as the player's main weapon. The latter allowing you to viciously skewer and hurl enemies with the same object that jingles in your pocket. Which everyday item do you think could be featured in games as novel weapon options? Keep up the tremendous work. Sincerely, Maria."
Well, just like what would you like?
Jingles in your pocket. I mean, jingles that narrows it down quite.
I never put
considerably.
keys in my pocket. They're
I don't think they
too
need to-
bulky,
you
too
never-
annoying. I always stick them in a bag.
Yeah. I always worry about falling over, landing on them.
Skewering your abdomen.
There's, you ever had it where your kid goes to punch you in the leg and then they hit your mobile phone and you're like, good. Ow! Don't punch me in the leg then.
No,
you
Elodie
must have
does
had
not
that
punch me in the
experience.
That's never happened to me, to be fair.
No.
Oh, God,
Isaac's
yeah,
really
all
good
the
at going
time.
for the crotch.
Um,
Really annoying.
Right.
He just used to, like for years, he was somehow always at the right height. That if he would just run at me,
Just
and
headbutt you.
fucking fucking
Right in the
forehead,
bollocks.
bang.
Does he
While-
shout, "That's my purse, I don't know you," while he's doing it?
While we're talking about kids, can I do a very quick kids say the funniest things
Yes.
thing?
Always.
We booked up to go on holiday for the first time since Joe was pregnant with Harry. So it's been 10 years. We're going abroad next year. And we're going to all-inclusive place in Spain, right?
Lovely old job.
So we sat the kids down, showed them the hotel, and we're going there next year. Look at this. You're going on a plane, mate. Lovely old job. And I said, Charlie, it's all-inclusive. And he went, what does that mean? I went, if you want anything, mate, anything, you ask for it, you can have it. What, I could just have juice? I went, yep. He went, I can have chocolate. Yep, you can have chocolate. I could have ice cream. I went, yep. I could pee in the pool. I was like, no. Where has that come from? Where is even the concept of peeing in the pool come from? And why do you want to do it this much?
Yeah.
But then that's
Whenever
what, do you remember that's what happened to me when we went to an all-inclusive one, and
You peed in the pool.
I mentioned, I was like, Isaac, I need to go to the toilet. Like, I had to bring him with me because I couldn't just leave him on his own, right? And he pulled me to one side. I was like, Daddy, you can just wee in the pool. It's fine.
Oh, that's right.
Like, no, you can't. And have you been doing that for the last week? Like,
Why have I been drinking the water?
Yeah, there's that whole thing about what that chemical that people put into pools that
it
changes
goes
colour when you
purple.
pee.
Oh,
in.
yeah,
That's fake, right? That's not real. That's like an
I've
urban
tested
myth.
it a lot. It's
I didn't notice that my child was apparently at it for days. So, yeah.
Okay. But in terms of household items that you could use as weapons, I don't know how to answer this. Like, I don't know, a plate or a knife or a... Well, I don't...
I mean, it specifically says the object jingles in your pocket. I mean, I'm thinking actually Allen keys. Allen keys work really well.
I don't think that's a requirement. I think she was just saying that that's
She was
what
just
happens
saying
with
that's
the
what keys do.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not
Allen
like...
key.
If you got close enough, you do some damage with some Allen keys.
For sure. Everyday item.
Camera tripod.
Is that an everyday
that'd be
item?
some- Yeah.
It's for me, mate.
For photographers, yeah.
I'm a creative.
My fist. Yeah, my fist.
Yeah, everyday objects.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck trying to lift it to hit someone.
If you
I
could
think
position it
it's a
over a
gym,
door frame so that it falls as they open the door.
Yeah, that is
No,
instant.
Yeah.
it is the door. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, not the best answers to that
No,
area, but
that's-
Yeah, I'm
Honestly-
thinking, I mean, phone.
Yeah.
I mean, phone.
Like
You
your
could
best
do
question.
some damage with a phone, wouldn't you?
Could you?
okay. All right. Well, I look, I was trying to move on again, Matt, and you've tried to
I was
come
trying to
with
answer
another
Maria's
one.
question, actually, David.
Michael has written to us. He says, question
I'm
for
not him again.
James. My friend is moving to Germany in a week to teach English literature at university. What advice would James give about moving to Germany?
Oh, this is a brilliant question,
That's a
Michael.
very good
Thank you.
question.
This is great. This is great because I'm genuinely interested to see what
Yeah.
your advice would be. So you got
Don't
someone
do it.
moving over to Germany. What are you gonna say?
I would say, okay, first of all, dispel any idea that you have about it being efficient here, because that's not true. It's completely not true. But get ready for intense bureaucracy over anything and everything you can imagine. Get used to using a fax machine again to
Wow.
deal with. Well, okay, it's not that bad, but it's get used to having to use paper documents for everything, and yeah, that sort of thing. That would be my whole thing with this, is like prepare for intense bureaucracy to
Brilliant.
deal with everything. Yeah.
What
quite a
advice
good
would
episode
James
title
give
as
to
well.
me about moving to Germany? Here's the things I hate about Germany. Like, that's
Well, no,
you
what
turn
else
that
do you want me to
into.
say? That's the thing that is
don't know.
the most irritating thing about living here. But I mean, in terms of good things,
It's
Can
not
I
good or
question-
bad
Give,
things.
give
It's
him a minute.
advice.
Give him a minute.
Yeah.
They want advice.
what advice do you want me to give?
Like,
I
you
mean,
have advice in terms of
Tips,
like.
helpful tips and advice. from Dr.
Yeah, like,
James
is there like an app that could? Is
Okay,
there
yeah,
a way
there's-
of helping you find around the?
are you crazy? Like that means using mobile phones and stuff, and people aren't into that so much here. It's
Wait,
like,
hold on.
yeah.
So they've got how you pay. You're not using cash out there, right?
Well, that's the other thing that I would give as a tip, is be prepared to be paying for everything in cash everywhere, because
Really?
yeah, they
Germany?
really I mean, okay, it's since the pandemic it has got better and more places are accepting cards now, but there is also the whole thing, they really like using cash here, like in a big
Blimey.
way.
Wow.
It's that's a big thing. So having cash is
Forget
quite
it.
useful.
I couldn't do that. I'm
Yeah.
not moving there. No way.
Yeah.
Like-
So I definitely that would be a good tip. Yeah, definitely have cash. Yeah, for dealing with things. But like,
yeah,
in
that's a
terms-
good tip.
There's
We've
some
got
other
some
stuff. Get the €49 ticket. I'd definitely recommend doing that because that's brilliant. That's for
What
like
is that?
traveling. This is like you pay €49 like per
It's
month.
the lottery. It's
And
a really
then-
expensive lottery.
You pay €49 per month, and then you can travel on pretty much any transport apart from like high speed trains around the country, like just as a flat rate. For
Wow,
that.
just like UK.
which is very good. Yeah, so it's like unlimited use, like so you can use it anywhere aside from, as I said, the ice trains. But yeah, it's good.
The ice
Cool.
trains.
Yeah,
So they call
Give me
them.
more information about the ice trains. That sounds chilly.
Yeah.
No?
No, it's just they're just fast.
That's just
fast
a brand
drinks. Just fast.
Is the
drinks,
beer as good as people say it is in Germany?
So this is,
I know the
people are
answer
gonna-
to this
Depend-
because
it
it's one of the
depends
things
what
he
you're
kicks
into.
off. With
I
me
know
about
this is
Gorm.
the thing that's people are gonna hate me. It's fine. I just don't think it's that great. Honestly,
Really?
it's like
German
it
beer
depends.
is shit, is it?
Again, no, it depends where you're from, like where you are as well. Because like in
from
the
the
south,
UK.
the what's it called, the beer from the south, I like a lot more because it's like Weiss beer, which is like
Yeah, Vice beer
that's-
is nice, but
this-
if you're on
this is
holiday,
nice.
it's great. You're for a weekend or week, but like I couldn't be drinking that every day. You know, it's very heavy, isn't it? But you know,
But you see, I live in the north, and Pilsner is the thing here, and I just don't like it. I don't think it tastes
Pilsner's
that good.
bland as shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that great. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
What about
Okay.
cheese?
cheese is very good. There's
Yeah.
a very
Oh,
very
no.
good
Oh, no.
selection of cheese. I got some
Oh,
free
dear.
cheese the other day by
yeah.
accident. Yeah,
How?
which was good.
what does that mean?
They're
you
like,
mean
hey,
you
it's
stole
James
it?
Farley. Give him the
Yeah.
give him the.
I mean, I
fucking
think it
sample
may
of
have been
cheese.
technically thieving it actually by
my
accident, but it was
Well,
Well,
You
so you
punch
open the
someone in the
wrapper in the
face and-
shop, and you're like,
no, because what it was that I was like,
Come on, I want to hear
cheese.
this story.
no, because I was at the checkout, and that's another thing.
You ran.
Be prepared for insane checkout speeds as well. That's the other thing which is
what,
famous
faster
for
than
here.
Lidl?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Like they're literally chucking it down like the thing like as fast
Oh,
as
is it?
possible. And then
Yeah,
what you
but-
have
but,
to do.
But they're not using the self-service stuff.
No, that's another thing. Yeah, there's
have
very that is. You see, if you find a store that has self-service, there's not many of them. Then always use that because there's never a queue because nobody uses it because everybody
Really?
wants to use
Wow.
the yeah.
Why
the,
there's
the,
so
the
verse
big
of
one.
technology over there? What's happened?
There's reasons. I'll go into it on the bonus show maybe. But it's
Saucy.
here's the thing.
No thanks.
That's a hook.
Yeah.
Actually, what this
the
is,
Patreon subscriptions are flooding in.
Shit, the numbers are going so fast.
Gonna be
No,
quids
this
in this
is a-
month, boys.
this is a genuine tip though for using the checkouts because people they go so fast like trying like putting the stuff through. What you need to do is you need to get some pastries and stuff and then strategically place them along along the checkout belt, right? Because then what happens is that the person who's doing they have to keep looking up like the codes because they don't know them and that slows them down, which gives you enough time to then pack your bags.
That's a brilliant tip, James.
Yeah.
I love
That's a
that this is
brilliant.
curved gently into just how to steal shit.
Yeah, yeah. Although I'm like, what I'm finding fascinating is that you've gone through all this and you haven't once said a pepperoni pizza is
Yeah.
not
Yes.
what you think it is.
That's
in
also
Germany.
true. Yeah.
And there's no,
Pepperoni is not.
there's no takeaways or something? Or...
No, that's just where I live. There's hardly anything. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and also, when they say something is spicy, it's not spicy. But
Okay.
Actually, that sounds
It's
ideal
not
for me.
spicy.
I would probably
Yeah.
still find it spicy. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So if you
also,
order a
you-
madras over there, it's just like korma.
yeah, just not spicy.
okay.
Convincing.
All right. There we go. That's James Farley's
Well,
view
we're going to
on
go over
Germany.
next year because
Absolute
it's
trash in
the
the
it's
place.
World Cup in Germany next year, isn't it?
Mm.
So all around
See you
James's for a lovely bit of World Cup action.
Yeah, that'd be good. Let's do
he
that.
looks thrilled.
Cheers,
we're
James.
trying to get tickets actually for that at the moment.
We'll get tickets. Get us
Yeah, get
tickets.
tickets,
We
we'll
will
go.
come over.
Love
Yeah,
our job.
Chen's
We'll see.
been she's in the lottery thing for it. It's
He
Brilliant. Well,
absolutely doesn't want us to
5
go.
tickets, please.
Yeah. He absolutely does not want us to go. He doesn't
Okay.
want us turning up.
We'll
Yeah,
pop
he's-
over. Us for
Yeah.
Chen World Cup. Let's go.
Sean's not going to come over for the World Cup. He's got zero interest.
I'd probably get sort
Come over
of
for the cheese.
swept up by the excitement, but
World Cup fever.
You can come for some of the other food because there is some really good food here as well.
leaning
Come
over
over
to
there.
Dave like, hang on, when do I cheer? Who is it? Which one's us?
They
Which
did
one's
a
Where are
us?
those
touchdown.
white,
Who are the
where are
goodies?
those white plastic
The-
chairs and who do I throw them at?
There's a firework in my ass.
Next question. Next question.
Final question comes from Clark Senpai. He says, recently returned from a dream vacation solo travelling around Japan and had an amazing time and experience. Everything just seemed so efficient and well put together compared to my home hellscape of London. The one thing that I
Germany.
haven't been able to shake are the magical toilets they have. You get a proper cleaning, music, sometimes a bomb blow dry, and occasionally even a Wi-Fi hub, which has me looking into getting one installed in my Lewisham apartment because I now feel like a feral animal using toilet paper. My question, have you ever been somewhere and found something so game-changing to your day-to-day that you have moved planets to bring it to your life daily? Appreciate you all. Keep up the award-nominated podcasting.
No, but I want to try one of his
Hopefully
toilets.
award-winning
They
soon.
sound great.
The toilets do sound amazing.
Yeah, but they've been a thing for ages, though.
Yeah.
Haven't
They have, to be
Like,
fair.
this is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny that we haven't adopted
just-
them, even though there's nothing about them that's like cutting edge? We could have
There's
them if we
bound
wanted
to
we
be
have
a
bad
reason.
days for a bit.
There's
you can
bound
totally
to be a
import them.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally import them, but
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, but
hassle,
I'm
isn't it?
assuming they're insanely environmentally unfriendly. Like I'm sure, like the
Yeah, I
amount of water and electricity they
Actually, I was
use.
gonna- yeah, because how
Reducing
is
use
it
of,
powered?
Toilet
'Cause
paper.
you'd have to have mains, but like it's obviously not just a plug. 'Cause
They're
you
powered
can't
by
have that in a
coal.
bathroom. Coal.
You have to shovel it in.
Shovel it
You
in.
have to shovel coal
Maybe
in
it
every
burns
time you
the
need
poo.
a shit.
Maybe
That's the
what it
one,
gets,
isn't it?
Yeah.
A self, yeah. It uses the poo to create energy. What are we talking about? It's the end of the podcast, isn't it?
I would really like a bidet, to be fair.
Would you?
Yeah.
Nah.
Our toilet paper's fucking rank, and I love those supposedly flushable wipes, but they're not actually flushable, are they?
No, they're not flushable. They're bad.
Has anyone done like a fucking panorama style expose into that? Because everyone says, "Oh no, they say they're flushable, but they're actually not." It's like, well,
Maybe
then
we
who
should.
gave them permission to say
have
that they were flushable? What happened there? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
well,
guess
we've-
because you can flush them. It's just not good to do.
No, but it says like fine to flush, and it's like, yeah, the implication being because it's got like a proper code and everything, as if there's like some official body that awarded it. But who are they?
Oh, imagine having that job. Just sitting there, just flushing things down. My dad used to do that thing where you get. where This is ridiculous. When we were kids, I would love to do it now, but it's just bad. You can't do it. He used to get like a whole roll of toilet paper, and he used to put some of it in the toilet, and then he used to roll it out like all over the house, and then we'd go up and you'd flush the toilet, and it would shoot like into the toilet
Does
because
that
it's just
actually
like dragging-
work?
Yeah, it was.
hell.
We would make noises of a monster eating something as it was like going towards the toilet.
That's Christmas Day entertainment around the Turner house.
So, this sounds like an urban myth. I would have
I
thought
know,
it
I
would,
told you
I would have thought it would just
powerful,
like
are
tear
they?
the paper and then that would be that. But
Well, yeah, it's just the water dragging the paper down. It's not anything special.
might
I'll,
try
I'll,
that.
maybe I'll do a video of it, but I feel
Yeah, that
bad
sounds
about
like that sounds like could be an
environment now.
extreme.
Yeah.
Play it at home, kids. You'd love it.
Yeah.
Is that it? We're done.
That is it.
We should finish. Matt, socials, please.
Yeah, just with real-time feedback. Yeah, Puba said isn't the Euros in Germany next year, not the World Cup. Yeah, it is the Euros, not the World Cup. So anyway, we're still going to
good point.
James's for the Euros. Thursday, Sean will be streaming more. Was it Zog?
Zork.
No, Zorg. Oh, that's something like the kids' book.
Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, Zorg, the Grand Inquisitor. That is Thursday from 9 on twitch.tv/TCGSco. And James, are you still playing Star Trek Resurgence?
I am, yeah. I mean, I won't be playing it this week because I'm going away, but I will be back the week
Oh,
after.
It's away
Wait,
again.
you on the show next week?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So no James stream on Friday, but if you missed a James stream last week or Sean's, they're both up on YouTube. Just search for TCGS on YouTube to watch them. If you have Amazon Prime, connect your Twitter account, give us your free monthly sub. We really, really appreciate them when they come in. We're on patreon.com/TCGS. Support us to get some exclusive monthly bonus podcasts. We'll be recording that in the next week or so. Lots to talk about. The video stream as well happens every month exclusively for patrons, and the website is tcgs.co for links to our gorgeous Discord community, store, socials, podcast, the lot.
Thank you so much for living it. We'll be back next week with special guest James Farley. We hope you have a lovely week. We love you. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.